streaming. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry, my friends, I was not live yet, but now I am. Hey, what's up, amazing hackers? Hope you're all doing well today. If the music in the background is distracting you or anything, feel free to let me know. Alright, so just listening to myself. Of course, I love hearing my own beautiful voice, but now we should be fully and well live, my friends. I hope you're doing well on this fine, fantastical evening. So today we're actually going to do some bug hunting, and I'm not going to tread an illegal territory here. I'm not going to actually hack anything or whatever, but I will show you the mindset of a hunter, and I'm going to start from actual zero, from creating an account on integrity, picking out the target and going to town on it, my friends. So if you haven't already, share this with your friends, your roommate, your grandmother, your dog, any pet that you would prefer. As long as you share it, I'm good with that. But share it with them so they can also enjoy this magnificent evening, shall we? So let's first of all get started. You guys know what's up. We need to find the right program. It starts with picking the right target, of course, but the right platform is also very important, really important actually. So for this one, there are many different targets that we can hack. We see a few here already, but I don't have any private invites. That's my whole point here. I don't want any private invites. I want to do it like you guys will. So, yeah, perfect. You guys can see my screen, just so I'm sure to have the chat open as well. There we go. Everything should be good on my end. I hope you guys are good as well. Let's get started, shall we? So let's talk about some programs first. Why did I... No, my friends, we need to talk about the platform. I keep forgetting, why did I pick integrity, you might be wondering. Well, HackerOne has negative karma points. I hate negative karma points. What the fuck's up with that? Are you fucking stupid? What if I report a few bad bugs in a row, but I've learned and now I find a good valid vulnerability, a cross-site scripting for example, but a certain rat can't report it anymore because that rat has negative karma. Well, fuck you if you have negative karma. That's all I can say. Plus, HackerOne is super crowded, my friends. Also, gonna give you guys a little bit of an insight or secret. You know those invites that they give you during those CTFs, right? Well, if you get a flag, you get a private invite to a private program. How cool is that, right? Guess what? Those are just the shit programs that nobody wants to hack on, and they give them to you, the person who comes in first as a rookie, because usually rookies are going to do these CTFs. Well, what are you going to get? Programs which you think, is this a private program? That is fucking bullshit. No, that is not what private programs is all about. And I will just lower my music a tad a little bit more. There we go. So it's not in the way. That's why, of course, no, for me, nope, HackerOne. Backcrowd. Bugcrowd, doing decent, but again, way too crowded for me. I don't care about Bugcrowd, to be honest. I don't want to go in Bugcrowd. So we come on to integrity. It's like a middle-sized growing bug bounty platform that is from my region, aka Belgium, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to understand the languages of these programs. I'm going to go for them. What I've learned over the years as well is that as these guys get to learn you, get to know you, they put effort into you. They make an Excel sheet for you and they keep track of your skills, what you're good at, what you're not good at. All of these things are being kept track of, so amazing. And then of course, if you're good enough, they will invite you to private programs as well. But they also have a Slack channel, and in that Slack channel you might get invited and be able to ask your questions directly to the triagers. So that's freaking awesome, right? That's freaking amazing. Let's read the chat for a second. Oh, hey friends, how are you doing? James, good to see you here. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Oh, hey, Secret Letters of a Hacker. Oh my god, I'm so glad to have you here as well, my friend. It's a true honor. He's really cool. If you guys haven't seen yet, go follow Secret Letters of a Hacker. Feel free to drop your channel link in the chat as well and in the comments, my friend. It's just magic, you have to see it. And then of course, let's see, thanks for putting this on, Red. Enjoy your channel and what you do. Thanks, I really appreciate it, RA. So let's go and hack some. I see Keith is there already as well. Programs, sort options. If you're a bug bounty platform watching this, please give me more sort options. I would like to be able to sort by asset, for example. I would like to sort by what you have in P1, P2, P3, P4, etc. There are filters very similar to that maybe, but not exactly what I do. So, or not exactly what I want. So if you can add more filters, definitely better, especially as your set of programs grows and you are able to send out private invites. Believe me guys, I'm not lying, I have 60 private invites or 50 or 40 or somewhere in that range, private invites. I don't care about them, but I can't even really look through them or sort through them or anything, so yeah. Filters, the more the better. Invite only, that speaks for itself, I don't have any of those yet. Application, so here, for all of these you have to put in your application. Do this, put in your application. I'll show you how that's done in a bit as well, but you never know, you can always get accepted and then you're in a program where you might thought, oh, I'm never gonna get in, but you're in anyway. Really good option there, registered. So you need to be registered or on Integrity to be able to view this. And totally public, these I can literally just go to one of these links and I can go to a private browser. If I know the commands on Windows, that is. Yeah, I don't usually hack on Windows, so nope, I don't know. Public, it's open, public. Why registered versus public, I don't know. But anyway, let's get right into it with some yeah, that's a phone going off. So I would like to have one of those registered programs because I think I do know what it means. By the way, my friends, it's been a while since I've done this. Yep, I thought so. You need to have your ID checked for this one. So if I want to go to data camp, I don't need to have my ID checked here. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's the difference between registered and public? I don't fully get it. If you do, drop me a comment below. Let's go to the next one, open suspended. That's clear, of course. Are they open? Are they suspended? It's good to have an eye on the suspended programs for if they reopen as well. Bounty, of course. Am I gonna get bounty? Am I gonna get reputation points? This filter doesn't seem to work all that well. Yeah, looks like we found a bug in Integrity, my friends. The reputation points filter isn't really working, and then identity checked, triage, collaboration, sustainable. Collaboration is if collaboration is allowed on that program. Sustainable is, of course, is the program a sustainable program, and triaging is, will it be triaged by Integrity? I assume that is by Integrity triaged. I'm going to clear everything here, include hidden. I don't know why we would not include hidden. I wonder what that is for. Now that really makes me wonder if we shouldn't just take Integrity as a bug bounty target, because include hidden is something that intrigues me. Which would be hidden, right? Why would they be hidden? Anyway, following, of course, that's clear. If you click on that hard button, you're following that program and you get updates from that program as well. Let's say that they do scope changes, then you get an email from that. Alright, enough babbling about the platform itself, I say. Let's look at some programs. AI motive. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so we need to accept some rules, apparently. Read these carefully, by the way. This is a template, a copy and paste of the rules, but read these carefully, especially the first time around, and make sure that you pick up on any changes that are in here. It's really important that you look through this. For example, if a vulnerability provides unintended access to data, you shall limit the amount of data you access to the minimum required for effectively demonstrating a proof of concept. Those are very loose terms, my friends. These are not words to be misunderstood. What they mean by that is, of course, if you take too much data, why would you take so much data, right? You might as well be a real black hat hacker. That's their standpoint. You need to be able to prove that there's a vulnerability, but you don't want to exploit it to its fullest potential, of course. You shall cease testing and submit a report immediately if you encounter any user data during testing, such as PII, personal healthcare information, credit card data, or proprietary information. So anytime you guys see PII or PHI, personal identifiable information and personal healthcare information, Those terms are very sensitive here in Europe. Just so you guys know, if you see any of that with GDPR laws, it's really sensitive over here. Describe the information that you are able to access, however, do not copy it or save it locally. Read this carefully. Of course, you cannot save any of that data locally. Why would you, right? And it's only giving a bigger risk to the company itself, because you've been hacking them. Now you're a little bit of a target as well, especially if you save personal information. They might, Jesus Christ, that tablet really wants to be seen. Let's see if there are no other options. Please redact or blur exposed information and remove any references afterwards. This is important to know. What do you do with information that you do find? Anyway, I'm not gonna go through all of them. I'm just gonna go click accept like a dumb dad. No, of course, I've read through all of these when I did these for my first check round. Okay, now they need an ID check. That's not something I am interested in at the moment, so let's clear everything with an ID check. So there's no negative filter yet, unfortunately, so we cannot remove things that have an ID check, which would be another good option. If you're watching integrity, bounty and reputation points are broken, I cannot filter on these, and a negative filter would also be very handy. Now I can also just look here, of course, but I'm a lazy bastard. This is terms and conditions, that's what we just accepted, and the ID check thing. Next up, we come to what I find are pretty high bounties. Let's be real here. These are bounties of up to $10,000. Anytime that a bug bounty program pays for low, they're going to be hard to hack. Believe me, they're going to be harder to hack because everybody sees this and thinks, oh, all I have to do is find a low on here and then I can get rewarded. That's not how it works. They can offer this money because they know they're secure. They don't offer this money to be picked up just for fun, of course. They want you to demonstrate that you can hack them properly. I know that this is Weeby Games. Weeby Games is a casino. They have a lot of things like the Napoleon Spinner Deluxe, Spinner Max, and Die Spinner. These are all assets which are WebSocket related. Casinos usually work on the WebSocket principle. So if you don't know WebSocket, and here we go already, we have the WebSocket URL, then you're kind of fucked. They also have an API, so I do see some resemblance of things that I like in here. They have a content discovery network, I don't care shit about that, but they do have the WebSocket server and a URL for every game and a specific API. So this might already be an important one. Always read that in scope section. We like to challenge you to find security vulnerabilities and vulnerabilities that lead to data breaches. We're especially looking for these kinds of data, of course. They're a casino. If you can change the outcome of the game, that's pretty messed up. And please ensure only submit issues for the scope Weeby Games described above. This means only security issues directly related to the games. All other issues should be kept to the Napoleon Games program, which can be found here. Take that into account, of course. I was dumb enough to not take that into account once. When the triager said it, I could have kicked myself. Out of scope. This is something that you will often find as a copy-paste. So that means that all of these will have the same out of scope section. Read it carefully. And why is this out of scope? Because there's no impact here. That's why it's always out of scope. So bypassing rate limits or the non-existence of rate limits, yeah, that's important, but they think Cloudflare takes that for us. Cloudflare handles that. We pay them enough money. Reverse tap nabbing. No real impact. Presence of autocomplete attribute on web forms. Yes, believe me, some hunters will report that. Cross-site request forgery with no or low impact. So these are not idiots. They don't say we don't accept any CSRF issues. They say they have to have proper impact, of course. Just a little tip that I wanted to give you guys, and then some severity assessments. These are usually don't mean that much, to be honest. Like, yeah, these are indicators, but you can have an either on non-sensitive endpoints that is still pretty critical. It really depends on what is found there. Horizontal privilege escalation. Of course, that can either be very low or very high, depending on exactly what kind of privileges you were able to escalate towards. Can we get test accounts? You're free to register accounts, but please use your @integrity.me address. That's another important thing. If you're a bug bounty hunter, every site that you sign up, you get assigned an email alias. In case of Integrity, that is the thexssrat @integrity.me for me. So your username @integrity.me. Addresses so we can track our researchers in our production environment. Researchers that don't use addresses will not be rewarded a bug bounty. Very important, my friends. In case you're not able to register or want to work with credits to test the games, you can contact Napoleon Games through the Integrity portal to request this. At this point you will be flagged as a test account and you will receive test money. Please note that by doing this, certain features, withdrawal for example, will no longer work on your account. Cash players, if you do a self-registration, you can enable cash modes and you will receive some credits for free. How to register? So bypassing the NN verification. In Belgium we have national numbers. If you don't want to enter your real national number, of course, you can bypass that. They have some things here as well to bypass it. I think this looks like a pretty good target because there's a lot of things that we can demonstrate on here. The reason why I would say avoid this like the plague if you're a beginner is this: the huge bug bounties. Plus, it's always a little bit more difficult when you're talking about WebSockets. If you see this and you see WebSockets, I don't know what that is, turn around, try another program. This program has a lot of good perks, so we will definitely come back to this. As you can see, automated tooling, maximum 5 requests per second. Request header, sometimes you have to add a header to every request that you send. Same for user agent or at integrity.me address that is required. Read these rules of engagement for every single program that you enter, every single time, again and again. What does a safe harbor policy mean? So we are ethical hackers. We have activities that are conducted in consent with our guidelines. Everything that is set out here, as long as we don't do anything outside of these guidelines. Like let's say that they have guidelines of maximum 5 requests per second. If we send 10,000 requests per second and kill their server and cost them money, safe harbor policy does not apply there. The program description and the restrictions, the terms to constitute authorized conduct under criminal law. Okay, so reading this back, considers ethical hacking activities conducted consistent with the researcher guidelines, the program description and the restrictions. Oh, everything, everything in here has to be followed. If it's not followed, then it is not under this safe harbor policy. We will not pursue civil action or initiate a complaint for accidental good faith violations, nor will they file a complaint for circumventing technological measures used by us to protect the scope as part of your ethical hacking activities. So if there's like a firewall in the way and you have to bypass it, that is also considered normal, safe, legal. If legal action is initiated by a third party against you and you have complied with the terms, with everything outlined in this document, Alexis will only take steps to make it known that our actions were conducted in compliance with our approval. So this is what safe harbor policy is. Just so you guys know, it's not that hackers are protected everywhere all of the time. No, safe harbor policy means that as long as you are conducting yourself within the guidelines of the program scope, of the rules of engagement, of the out of scope section, then you can be sued, but the legal action taken against you will only be for making it known that the actions were conducted in compliance with their approval. So basically a lawsuit just to make known that things happened the way they should have happened and not going to cost you money. Alright, I'm going to look back at this program in a little bit because it does sound interesting for me at this moment. Don't do this if you're starting. I'm going to go through a few more programs so I can take you guys through everything. This is a newspaper. Avoid newspapers like the plague because they have very little scope, and it might seem like this is a lot of scope, but functionally all you can do is read your newspaper here and manage your account and manage your subscription maybe, but that's about it. They're not gonna have you write your own blog on their system. They're not gonna have a super advanced whatever. No, you as a user usually don't get an account to the backend systems. So what they say at the very bottom, where can we get credentials? We currently don't offer any credentials to test user roles. So you're already gone for user roles. That's a big one. That is broken access control gone. Then you still have IDOR, but IDOR is much more unlikely on these types of websites. So I would avoid them, at least in the beginning. Then we have rlog4j. Honestly, what kind of stupid program is this, my friends? Who the fuck does this shit? Let's have a look. So, oh, I cannot even have a look. I need to initiate my ID check. But ARAG Rijksbijstand has a long history as an independent family business. A history that started in 1935 with our founder, also lawyer Heinrich Fassbender. An inspired man with an enormous drive to make justice accessible to everyone, not just those who can afford it. The ARAG Group has now grown into an internationally operating successful legal service provider with offices in 19 countries, including Australia, the US and Canada. Yeah, that's good, but you can already see it in the name. Why only log4j? Like, Jesus, are you fucking... That's ridiculous. That's like saying, hey guys, I have a bug bounty program, but you can only do cross-site scripting on it. Isn't that cool? Argenta, you need to register for this. You need to have your ID checked, I think, as well. And anyway, it's no use hacking these guys if you don't live in Belgium. Why not? Because you have to create a bank account. Otherwise, there's no real use in trying to hack a bank account, of course. You have to create a bank account here in Belgium. You have to, usually 99% of the banks are moving towards mobile traffic as well. So you will have to do some mobile hacking. That's an important one. Not that it's super hard, but it has to be in there. So banking, anything banking related, basically, I would avoid it in the beginning. Especially also if you're not from that country, because you might have to open a bank account to test everything fully. Let's see, Azina, we are an award-winning German startup with our local locations in Munich, Eindhoven and Pittsburgh. We are 100% funded by the Bosch Group, and our goal is to be the leading open platform and market for smart security and safety solutions. The platform we offer is based on camera operating systems that power cameras from various manufacturers on the market. It connects to our application store, where leading video analytic development companies offer cutting-edge applications. If I'm honest, that sounds boring. I really don't like this. This sounds boring as hell. So I'm not going to even bother analyzing this program. It just sounds really boring. BCC. BCC is a store, if you guys don't know. It's an electronics store. One of the largest and most successful electro retailers in the Netherlands. In addition to our physical stores, we have a high traffic e-commerce platform. BCC is part of the Merge Retail Group. I don't care a shit. You can be part of the King's Holy Army for all I care. I really don't care. By participating in this program, you agree to respect the community guidelines. Of course, always read the terms and conditions. Do this. Apparently there has been an update over a week ago. I don't know what happened there, but I would like to know. Read this. Make sure that you do. Why not, right? It talks about your taxes, your payouts, how to deal with programs. Read it. Respect the scope of the program, not discuss or disclose vulnerability information without prior written consent, including proof of concepts on YouTube and Vimeo. Perfect. That's normal. I would say that should be a default in every program. They have pretty good scope sections as well. So you have www. So that's just probably their web shop or the account section of the website. Checkout, that is for buying stuff. bcc.nl, that's probably their web shop. Zakelijk, that is something for business to business. This is the login form for business customers. The goal is here to check if you can get in on this login page without a login provided. So yes, you will not be getting a login name. Unfortunately, these guys don't understand that it helps a lot if we have an admin account, because then we know what we can do and we can at least test the functionalities that are existing within the application. Now we don't know anything, and it's just up to us to guess what's behind that portal. Security through obscurity does not work. Then we have bcc.nl, which is the photo service, is out of scope, and CadeauCard is out of scope. That's probably because they are handled by a third-party application. Honestly, it doesn't sound very interesting to me, this program. I'm not for web shops at all. Believe me, web shops, you usually have to buy stuff, and I don't like buying stuff, because you have to return it, you have to see if the invoices are correct, and you have to see if the invoice has the correct identifier and whatever, and if you change the identifier that you don't see other people's data, and you have to test for XSS there. Basically everywhere. It's not something I enjoy. So how do you connect to the VPN? These guys have a VPN requirement, which is good because I also wanted to show you that. So you just download OpenVPN, simple, programs, OpenVPN, if I could find it in my massive list of useless programs here. OpenVPN, ooh, I opened something, I don't know what. Oh, it's just a toolkit thing. So let's see, OpenVPN, there it is. What the difference is between OpenVPN and OpenVPN Connect, don't ask me, I don't know. So you're downloading a VPN configuration file now. Let's get rid of this toolkit, and we should have OpenVPN open. Nope. That's why, of course, OpenVPN. Let's see, OpenVPN Connect, I guess then. Hopefully that will resolve my issues, but there's a zip file in here, and you can see this is shit that I added myself. Here we have our configuration. Let's open it. Do you want to import a profile? Yes. If you have OpenVPN configured, that's it. So continue. Ooh, missing external certificate. I don't give a crap about your external certificates. Now I'm connected to their network, to their VPN. It's as simple as that. Don't make any false accusations here. Don't think that it's really hard. Just make sure that, okay, some of these have a VPN. Don't start hacking on them without a VPN, or you'll get a lot of status codes that you weren't expecting. So these guys, have we looked at them yet? Oh yeah, these weren't that interesting. Of course, let's move on to the next targets that we have in mind. I might start keeping targets that I find interesting open. Believe me, it's not that many, so that one's open. Belfius you have to apply for. Now, do apply for these types of programs. It's not that hard. First of all, you accept their terms and conditions, read them. For example, researchers are not allowed to delete any data. You think? So then initiate your ID check. I don't want to do that right now. Oop. And I just flashed my phone number on screen for 50,000 people, so... Oh, no, I wish we had 50,000, but we're 36. It doesn't matter, by the way. My phone number is really easy to find if you do a little bit of effort. Now we come into the more interesting territory, at least for me. BloomUp is an interesting one, and I might have a look at that one, simply because I know it, and that way I know I won't be talking out of my ass. So what this is, BloomUp is a program to connect somebody who has mental issues due to COVID-19. Yes, this was all built during the COVID-19 situation. If somebody has mental issues, this application can bring you together with a clinician who can take care of you, look after you, who you can have sessions with. So basically really interesting to hack on. But what I like about this program is, most of all, what's in scope. So of course, I don't really care about that promise. All I care about is my points and my money. No, just kidding. But they have this analytics page here, our self-hosted analytics server that gathers analytics about the app usage. So they use Matomo for that, and they expect focus on the security hardening of the server setup. Fun, right? Chat.bloomup.org. So this is their self-hosted chat and community used for employee conversation, and also a communication tool towards and between professionals. Mattermost is used. So Mattermost, you can already imagine looking up Mattermost exploits, of course. Here we are expecting a focus on the security hardening of the server setup. No submissions are allowed at that point. Existing So if you find anything at Mattermost itself, you can just go to Mattermost and you can find one of the issues here or report a new one. Perfect, so you have a whole list of issues that already exist. You can see if yours exists in there, and otherwise you can create an issue. Apparently I don't have authorization. Need to log in. I don't really care about this program that much. And then here we come to app.acceptance.bloomUp, stating version of the main app, two sides, the client and the one used for mental health professionals. The client can go through an onboarding flow, which will be asked will ask a few questions. Yeah, this sentence is wrong. Which will ask should be them, probably a few questions that help us identify the best professional for them. At the end of the questions, they will get a proposal of 3 mental health professionals. They can either choose to book a consultant in the next 7 days, or if the psychiatrist, I think, is online, immediately go into a consult. At the end of this flow, an account is created that they can later use to track and follow up on consults. The professional uses the app to plan and follow their consultants and BloomUp clients. It's available in Dutch and only for Belgian professionals. This is the most important part of the test. The best end lives here, blah blah blah. And then Meetup. Please don't forget to use your @integrity.me address and meet.bloomup.org. Also, this runs Jitsi in the background apparently, or whatever that thing's called. Yeah, Jitsi. So really interesting. In scope. Do not test on our production environment. We will not accept issues if they have been found by polluting the production environment with test data. Our professionals are very confused if ethical hackers schedule a meeting with them. The valid URLs are still in the domain. Yeah, I can imagine if somebody's whole agenda would get booked full by ethical hackers. So again, what they're specifically looking for: theft of sensitive data, unauthorized modification or deletion of sensitive data, access to each other's online consults, engage with client or professional with spoof identity, horizontal and vertical privask, giving yourself administrator privileges, SQL injection, etc. See the FAQ on how to access the application. We'll get to that later. Please do not use the following methods: brute force. We do not want password or username brute forcing. We can still use tools up to 5 requests per second. We just don't want password and username brute forcing. At least they don't. I don't give a shit. Then we have an out of scope section, out of scope actions and domains. All the other domains outside of the ones listed above are out of scope. No submissions are allowed to blah blah. Yeah, that's a whole list. Great for you. Then let's talk about severity assessment. Why am I skipping over this, by the way? This is basic shit, my friends. Email bombing, XML RPC enabled. If you're able to exploit XML RPC successfully, that's different. But they say, don't report just that it's enabled. Don't report same-site scripting. Don't report disclosing API keys without proving impact. Yeah, they might have an API key in their JavaScript file, but who cares if it does nothing, right? And yeah, these are all normal, like missing security headers. If you read through them, you know, and if you found a bug and you still aren't sure, just read through them again before you actually report it. So this program follows the contextualized CVSS standard, and for credentials for the app, we can self-register, but please don't forget to use the @integrity email address. So for postal codes, they are saying that it should exist in Belgium, so only existing postal codes are accepted. An example address is this one right here. If you choose to register as a professional, please create a professional account on the platform and let Integrity support know so they can ask us to verify your account. Sounds reasonable, so let's do that, right? Let's first get our account set up, but oh, wait up. So before I do that, quickly going to go over some more programs with you, because I think we're going to stick with BloomUp for now and we'll see others later. The post, I don't care about it. I don't care particularly about hacking postal systems. This is also usually just their web shop and the site where you send packages and follow up your packages, etc. Cake. Cake is a different one. Cake is something interesting. Apply for that, definitely. Nova Post, Canada Post, Post. Nope. Then we have C Labs. That is suspended. cm.com, I don't know, but I don't think that will be very interesting to me. If that is what I think it is a listed company provide conversational commerce services from its privately owned platform with 100% software development. We continuously develop our private platform. Interesting for some people maybe, but you know, not really for me at the moment. Collabora online. We have Colored Group. I don't know what this is. Colored Group is a shopping, is just a normal store here in Belgium. These guys are fuckers. Don't hack on them. I'll give you guys the details later, but they're fuckers. Crisp. Don't know. Bpost again. Not gonna be interested. Collabora is an online platform, is a powerful online office suite that supports all major documents, spreadsheets, and presentation file formats. Boring. The thing is just that why this is interesting to some of you guys, and I get that, is that it takes a lot of time to read these pages from A to Z. And I don't just look at the pages, I look at the last contributors, I look at the leaderboard, submissions received, accepted, okay, then how much did they receive in the previous period. So the previous one came from the 7th of December, we're now the 11th. A couple of days went over that apparently, and apparently the real submission was on the 6th, so a couple of days went over that. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people hacking on this. This can mean two things. It's too complicated and people don't understand and you should dive the fuck in, or people just understand it but it's just not deep enough, not very the coverage is low, I should put it that way. In this case I think it's got something to do with the complexity of the application itself, because we are talking about we are talking about an application here. This is not just a web app. That's why it's also integrity, if you're watching, would be really useful to be able to sort by these. These are applications, and of course you can just put that in a separate scope item. You don't need to put that under here. But yeah, for OwnCloud, fine, not my cup of tea. Might be something when I'm bored though, when I don't have anything else left to do, that's a different thing. So Crisp is the an app only supermarket. Yeah, you know what kind of stuff to find on a supermarket. Not really that interesting for me, really not. Now let's get started on our program, shall we? But I don't want to just get started and just start hacking, because I always want to have something in the background which catches my requests for later on, so I don't have to look at all of these requests separately while I'm hacking. Of course, interesting, I'm gonna look at that, but if I miss something, that's fucked up. So yes, I do want to keep this session. In this case, we're going to do manual exploration, because all I want to do is register my account and see, okay, now my account is registered. What else can we do on the website, right? This is just our exploration phase. Oh, don't even have to find it there. Oh, I gave it the wrong scope. That's not very smart. Let's go back and give it the correct scope, shall we? So, yeah, I gave it that integrity part as scope. That shouldn't happen. So yeah, let's do that. And then once we have our website loaded, we can see a bunch of crap loading in as well. I don't care about that, obviously. So what I have to do is set my scope up properly. Here we talk about contexts, and you're going to see that right now, at the exact perfect moment, my Zap has determined that it wants to be in Dutch. Perfectly fine. But analytics.bloomUp was in scope, so I'm going to add that to my context. All right, perfectly fine. Geez, I can't even do this in Dutch. How am I expecting you guys to do it if I can't even do it? So I'm going to make this one specific scope, or I should say one specific. There we go. So this is bloom-up. Later on, I can still make a separate scope for all of the items separately, and I can do different attacks on the different scopes depending on how they're defined, of course. First thing I want to do is put myself in protected mode, because I don't want anything hacked that's not in scope. So we're going to do that first. Let's see, add this in scope, bloom up, yep, perfect, and add, do we have anything more? Yep, acceptance, we should add that in bloom up as well. There we go, and do we have anything else that we can see right now? Not really, or not immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove everything I don't need from here. Let me just quickly check that there's nothing else. Integrity, nope, everything here can go. So let's delete it, find the delete button, there we go. And this one as well, together with this one. Let's delete those. Now you heard about their sentry. That's where they were interested in their server structure itself. Let's go back to the program for a second. Do we have the right one open? Yes. So here we have, by the way, as you can see here, we have a fair bit of activity on here as well. Not always, not all of the time, but it does seem to be a fair bit of activity. Might be another reason to go and hack. By the way, Bruno is doing really fucking well. Let's talk about the scanning, shall we? So, first of all, where is it? There's sentry. Is the sentry not in scope? I thought I read something. Nope, apparently not. So, sentry is not in scope. Then we need to remove it. Let's go back to the... let's go back to the context. Let's remove sentry. Let's remove that. Yep. And we have app analytics and API. API needs to be added as well. So let's add that in our scope. Jesus, switching from English to Dutch is really not easy to do, my friends. Really not at all. Let's remove that sentry because it's out of scope anyway. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a secret. A little bit of a trick of mine. Read. Fucking read, my friends, because does it say API? Does not say API. Does not say API. Does not say API. Yet I take the API in scope. Why would that be? Check this out. The backend and server and API lives on API.acceptance, which is also in scope. Then at least make it into a new item. Like, how can I wish I could send some feedback about this, because this has bothered me for ages. And I think I might just send some feedback about that, because it's bothering me like crazy. It really is. Thank God they'll be back tomorrow. So, yeah, right. I keep forgetting that I'm on Windows now. Yeah. Let's just try, right? Let's make a new one. There we go. And then let's do it like this. That should be clear, right? Is it not simpler? So I'm saying hello. Is it not simpler to add item to the scope? Yeah, I really have to get this right. This is important for me, and I might be a little bit strange in that regard, but this is super important. Oh wow, there's a lot of chats here. Hey, thanks a lot. See you later, Secret Letters. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope that you're not leaving yet. I don't know, I don't see a leaving message. So association collects doesn't protect against CSRF. Nope, it does not. So hello, Mr. Sharonan. How are you doing, my friend? Mr. Sharonan, I will send you a link in a bit, and Mr. James Beers as well. I will send you guys a link, and I'd like you to come on the chat as well, of course, if you would like. Now, we have done this, enough time wasted already. So we have everything in scope that should be in scope now, but there's one more thing that we don't have. Analytics, chat, app, and meet. Do we have all of those? No, we do not, sir. We have API, analytics, and an app, not meet yet. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that in a bit. Now, let's say that I want to, for example, create an account here. Really simple. So that Zap Hut. Don't show this again. Continue to target. Let's make a pretty little name, shall we? Single quote, double quote, backtick as well. Do we have a backtick on this keyboard? Jesus, I don't know. I can't even use this fucking keyboard. What is this? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna Google backtick. Yeah, there we go. Let's copy that little bugger. I have to make sure on Mac I would press the copy button. Oh, in Firefox. There we go. If I can give you a tip, close that window, because otherwise you might work on in your Google Chrome while you should be working in your Firefox. Now, I always add a broken image here. You do whatever you want. You can add like a B tag, you can add an underline tag. I just found that this is the least filtered in my opinion. It depends on how you, of course, then we add other things as well, but just the broken image seems to go through a lot more than, for example, the B tag. I don't know why either, but it's just that way. Now we're going to see if we can get the dollar sign up here. Let's see. Yep. Yay! I did it right the first time. And by the way, friends, I'm looking blind at the keyboard that I've never really used, so I think that is quite an achievement. There we go. And it's also AZERTY. I usually use QWERTY, so that's fun. At integrity.me. So we should always use our at integrity.me emails. Remember? That's important. Integrity.me. And of course it's going to complain about that email address. I'm just gonna put in my real name. Ooh, that's not my real name. There we go. thexssrat at integrity.me. And here we can just put in a number as long as it resembles a phone number. That's good enough. And then we are clinical therapists with therapy training, of course. We are professionals with therapy training. I really wouldn't come to my stuff. Do we really need a document? Because I can get you a document if you like. There we go. Do you have a website? Optional. Yes. Where should we put them? Where should we send them to? No, let's just keep it at that. Oh, my bad. I'm an idiot. Alright, so right now I have created an account. Now I would like to have this account be there we go. Sorry. So I would like to have this account be a account as well. They say currently I'm not on the right page. Didn't see that. Here they say you can self-register at the application, but please do not forget to use your integrity.me address. If you choose to register as a professional, and let integrity support know, so you can ask us to verify your account. So we can send another message. But I'm not gonna shout at the dear friend. Hello. At this program, I found a reference to you. FAQ. So what do we need to know? Can you please have our account activated as a professional? I will tell you guys a little bit about this as well in a bit. Professional, and then of course my account. Truly. The thexssrat at integrity.me. So what did I say here? Hey friends, I have this program. I found a reference to you and the FAQs. Always ask them, can you please do this? Can you please do that? Can you please do this? Can you please do that? They don't know the context, so they really need to know the context of it. It just helps to just copy paste it in here like this, and then I can just paste in the program link as well, just to be sure that they don't verify anything else. And there we go. And that's that. So that's part of it. Now we're going to look at their server, because they had a server up which was purely for analytics, and they wanted to see about the server usage there. They use Matomo. Here we expect to focus on the security hardening of the server setup. That's fun. You know what that means, right? That means Nmap scans. Do I have Nmap on here? I highly doubt it. Do I have Docker on here? Yes, baby. You can guarantee your sweet ass that I have Docker on here, and I'm going to start that up. I don't know if I have my containers in here, but that's the beauty about Docker, right? We can just, we do not have containers. So let's have a look and see if we can get a container for pen testing, shall we? Pen testing Docker container. I have a really big problem because my D is broken. Yes, you heard that right, my D is broken. I keep pressing it harder and harder and harder and harder, but nothing happens. And I even smash it sometimes, but it keeps being broken. Dude, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, what's happening? But I guess I just have to get a new keyboard or something, right? That could help, I guess. Enough with the bullshit. Let's go to the terminal. Terminal. Ooh, of course, that is not called terminal here. Command prompt, I guess that's what it was called here. Nope. That's not what it's called either. Opdracht prompt. Jesus. Can you make it even more complicated, please? I would really appreciate you making it as complicated as possible. Docker daemon is running, my friend. Why is it so hard to get that shit right? Yep, it doesn't seem to be able to find the Docker daemon, but we do have it up. I'm pretty sure. No, I don't. Yeah, that's gonna help if. What did I put now? What did I start? Docker desktop. Is it not just Docker desktop with the daemon? I thought, yeah. So the Docker desktop daemon has not started yet. It failed to start. Let's see what's up there. Can we close that? Do we already have something open from Docker? This thing right here. Let's just close that as well. Quit Docker. Anything else Docker related, so that we don't have to keep returning to it. One last try, and then we're going to the emergency solution. Docker desktop. I want to at least get some scans started up. That would be great if I can get some scans started up. Then I'm going to leave you guys to catch up if you want. Going to catch up on my breath myself for a little bit, and going to get a drink. And after, oh perfect, that's a lot better. So afterwards we will continue with the hacking part itself. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself so far. I really am enjoying myself. You guys have no idea. And it's super, super awesome that you guys are here to talk to me as well. Alright, man. Have a good study secret letters. Hey, Lemon, how are you doing, my friend? Hold up, let me make you... There we go. You're also a moderator of the channel now, so in case anybody says anything fishy, feel free to kick them out. Let's see, yeah, it's definitely new keyboard time. I have this really cool Magic keyboard from Mac, but it's like $116 or something, and I want to get it for myself, but I'm waiting until Christmas, because if somebody buys it for me, I don't need to. Thanks, Beast. I love to see you guys here as well. Turns out we have 210 people. Now, currently what we're doing is we're just installing Docker so we can get our tools on here as well. It should have been installed, but apparently Docker decided to go for an update as well. Fine, everybody needs to update every now and again. Just that always at the perfect timing, right? Always at the perfect timing. It's always really cool when you have to give a demo of something, like exploits that you found during your pen test, and while you give your demo, they update the environment. That's fun. That really is fun. Or during your engagement, they might just push things to your environment, because believe me, these guys don't... Well, you need to tell them that the environment you're testing on needs to be frozen in time. There cannot be any new updates to anything of the whole system, because otherwise there's no real point in doing that. Unless it's a super isolated test, Of course, and that system hasn't changed, but how can you guarantee that system hasn't changed by changing something elsewhere? The software these days are so intertwined and intertwined, it's really important to have that sort of security. What do I mean by that? If you're going to release software, you're going to release it as a package, so you should be testing the most granular settings in themselves, aka unit testing. You should build on top of that with your integration testing, and you should most of all do a full test at the end before a release. Before every release, full tests need to be executed. That's not how these companies see it. They see it as, oh, testers are gonna start, have them start on the test environment or the dev environment where there's still pushes on a regular basis. Ah, that's so frustrating. Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah, the Christmas discounts are also a big thing. That's also a big one, of course. I tried going to the doctor for my broken D, but the doctor was like, bro, there's nothing we can do for you. We can try, but it's useless. So yeah, there's nothing really I guess I can do about it, but accept my faith, accept my broken D. Come on, Docker. Engine starting. Hurry the freak up. Yeah, why am I even stopping myself from cussing? I know the stream's gonna get demonetized anyway. Oh my god. Will you also consider IDOR? Of course, my friend. Of course IDOR is going to be considered. Ugh, I don't care. Oh, the WSL2 needs to be restarted, which is why this thing is complaining as well. Gotcha. Yeah, WS... If you guys don't know, Docker is Linux. So, Unix. It emulates Unix. It doesn't emulate Windows. You don't have Windows Docker containers. It doesn't exist. But, that being said, if you then want to run Docker on Windows, that is only possible because of WSL2. So, take that in mind. If your WSL2 is not updated properly, your desktop, your Docker's not gonna get started either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up some music for you, my friends, and give you guys a few minutes to catch up, if you guys would like to, of course. And then I'm going to connect to my VPN, because that's just the fastest way, I'm guessing. Right now, the way it's going, Docker doesn't want to play games, and I might have to even restart my computer for updating WSL2, which I'm definitely not going to do. Hey, that rhymes. I'm like the Christmas Grinch. Let's see. Hopefully we can get it started, even though WSL2 is doing difficult. If not, that's okay. Then I'm just gonna connect to my VPS. You should always have a VPS ready anyway. It is now installed using separate MSI package. Please click the link and follow the instructions to install the kernel update. Yeah, the kernel update. Not now. Not now, my friend. Maybe some other day. Let's keep it at that. I'm going to put up a graphic for you guys, and then I'm going to prepare myself. There we go. I'm going to set up for the next sections, and then I'll see you, my friends, in a bit. I'm going to have a little bit of a smoke of a cigarette, of course, and magical grass, I'll tell it. And we will be back in a little bit, showing you guys some more hacking techniques. I love you guys. See you in a bit. if you are a web developer, by the way, and you are ever having a two-factor authentication password or token having entered by the user, so they need to enter their two-factor authentication, do me a favor, make that into a password field. Just a security precaution, but do me a favor, and I would really appreciate that. Let's see that we have the correct server, of course, because I need to start from the right one. Which one shall we take? Let's see if we can have this one. Oh, right. Yep, I do. Yeah, that's what you would say, James, but unfortunately for me, I'm not gonna dab too much. I would be dancing on the table if I take 5 dabs in a row like you. I know you guys cannot buy me dabs or my dog's treats because I don't have a freaking dog. That would be freaking cool though. Alright. I hate typing with Azerty. Like, we in Belgium are literally some of the only people that have Azerty. There are more people, I know that, but like, they're not a lot. Why? Why the fuck do we have to be so stubborn and be like, oh, here, let's take this perfectly good program keyboard to program on, to have the function keys, everything that you need in the right order. Let's mess this up completely. Let's just do that for fun. Jesus, what kind of monster is that? There we go. That's something you guys can see. Nothing I have open that you guys cannot see anymore. So fuck you, Docker. I've been able to get into my own account, thankfully. Let's see. We have this analytics, I think was the server URL. Do you need to enter a... Do you guys know this? Can I run this like this, or do I need to enter an IP address only? I'll give you guys 5 seconds to think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and run. Yep, I do not need an IP address. It can help because sometimes your URL can lead to a load balancer or to multiple IPs, or like there's different options where you can have multiple resolutions. So make sure that you have all of the things covered in that case as well, and that you know what all of the resolutions are for that address, of course. I'm gonna let this scan for a little bit, gonna finish my cigarette, and then we'll get back to chatting with you guys while I frantically go for my charger because my laptop next to me is dying. Hold on, dear friend, hold on for dear life. That is coming. Come on. Do we have it? No. I think it's charging. Yep. Yes. I think there's something stuck in between, and there's this MagSafe charger. It's really annoying because with MagSafe, I don't know, it's just annoying. Let's see, do we have everything we need? So from that we do, can you guys hear me? Yep, we can. Let's talk about my camera doesn't reach my desktop. I'm sorry, what camera? Please, if live broadcast end, don't delete the broadcast, let it stay, I got it late. Oh, believe me, my friend, I will. This live broadcast will stay up. You guys can see this for however long into eternity if you guys want. And my freaking I have like a smart quote-unquote camera here in the house. AKA you can control it with your phone, that's it. And that stupid thing always detects motion because it's aimed at the window, and if there's like somebody driving outside and he has a little bit of light shining through the window, that thing notices it. It says like, oh, motion detected. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reposition that, I think. Let's see, give us a voucher code for your course. Of course, my friend, is there any specific course that you would like, or Would you like me to pick and just give you any course that you would like? Let's give... that would be cruel because that's not even possible anymore. I was gonna give you guys the full house bundle, but that's not even possible anymore, so... Let's give you guys CNWPP, shall we? Anybody want to do the CNWPP exam? Look at the chat now, I'd say. Yeah, the thing is just, like, I tell this to myself all the time as well, James. Like, I just need to be really careful that the things I don't know enough about, I don't speak with confidence about them. I just speak with uncertainty, and I can still give certain types of information for you guys. That's fine. I might even be wrong in some of the shit that I say. I try my best to be right, but you can't be right 100% of the time. But I am very confident in the fact that I know broken access control really, really well. I know it really well. I know it in several different ways even, and I know it well because in a sense that there's much more that I can still learn about it, don't get me wrong, but I've looked at all the options by now. I've looked at how you can test broken access control automatically with all of the tools, how you have to test for it manually, where it can occur, all of these different things, and investigated UUIDs, investigated ways around that. So yeah, I speak with confidence about IDOR and broken access control, and even when somebody tells me horizontal or vertical broken access control, that is something like horizontal privilege escalation. I have to remember, oh, the horizon, that's a flat line, so IDOR, I'm taking over somebody else's account. A vertical, oh, vertical, he's higher than me. I have to remember it that way as well. I know it's stupid, but yeah. Definitely. I'm going to drop you guys. I don't know if I can drop the link to that, but I have a flowchart and I'm going to see if I can share that. Hopefully I can, because this flowchart is something I find very useful for if you want to do bigger targets with bigger scopes. We'll get into that a little bit more later because I have some more things to tell you there. Apparently it's not the correct drive that I'm opening right now. Let me log in with my other account then. Let's see. Add account. Oh, I don't. Woof. Never mind. I'm just gonna do it this way because that will be easier. So let's upload things to Twitter and then I'll link you guys to that Twitter thread. You might have seen this come across a few times already, but I think it's a really powerful graphic because it encapsulates my whole workflow in one picture. Of course, there's a lot of detail and nuance that goes into it, but in case you guys have seen it, let's see, courses, hunt like a rat. Always have some kind of music playing while you're hacking. Some people hack best with no music on, but most people hack best with some music on at least. And the best music is the believe me, it's the instrumental classical music. Don't believe me? Look up the fucking studies. Go laugh at me. But that's some really good music to have on while you're doing things that you should be focusing on. Because it gives your brain something to not dwell otherwise. Like, for example, I always dwell to other topics while I'm doing shit. Classical music helps me with that a little bit, at least. So, just a little tip that I can give you. Now, let's see where we have those files hidden. There we go. There's a lot of files in here that I need to be, there we go, broken access control. So I'm going to link you guys to a broken access control thread, and I think that should contain everything. So broad scope methodology, I will put that up next, but let's first start with this one. So broken access control, make a permission matrix. I don't know if you guys have ever seen permission matrices, but I will give you guys a link to it right now, and then you guys can see it for yourself. It's basically just an overview. Let me put it on here as well, if I can see the chat. I cannot see the chat, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to, nope, Dedocking it didn't really work either. Settings maybe. No, I don't think I'm gonna find my YouTube chat easily. It's okay. So let's see. I'm also recording this, by the way, for a video on demand later on, so we can split that up. But let's get back to hacking for now, shall we? I wanted to show you guys something, but I guess I'll show you guys later. It's not super important now. Oh wait, never mind. Look at what I have here. Of course, I can access my home drive. Yeah, I'm a freaking moron. That's my NAS at home, by the way. Let's see. So courses, and here we can see a lot of courses available. Let's go for the hunt like a rat, and then resources. Normally I'm not this disorganized, it's just that this specific file is in here. Normally I'm starting to work with Confluence a lot more, but this is what I was talking about when I meant permissions matrix. So you have different users that can do different things, and you mark what they can and cannot do. This will help you in testing the application, because first you're going to start testing with your employee, and you're going to see that he's not allowed to create a timesheet. So you're going to try to create a timesheet. You're going to try to sign a timesheet, try to report on a timesheet. How would you know this? How would you know where there's functionality lays? Admin account. This is why I don't like programs that don't give you admin accounts. Admin accounts can be really useful tools for hackers to know what endpoints they should be focusing on to start with. Not saying that there's no further investigation needed. Like, okay, you have a list of endpoints, but who says that this is a complete list? Who says that it's a complete list of parameters? Blah, blah, blah. So investigation will always be needed, but at least this will give you a great starting point of what should and should not be tested. This can later on be translated into a plugin like the authentication plugin, for example. So I don't think I have it here installed. Let me just see if I have the... So where is the add-on manager? I think it was here. Yep. And then the authenticator. Nope, I don't think I have it installed, but nope, it's not in here. Oh, right. Was it the access control? Yeah, access control testing. So this is the one that I meant. I'm just going to install this for now. Installs custom payloads as well. Look at all of these extensions, by the way, my friends. They are super useful. Now that I have it installed, I should be able to use it as well. So you might be wondering, okay, where the fuck is it? You just installed it? Yeah, Zap is context dependent. So what Zap will do is it will show you the windows which it thinks are very relevant at that moment. Okay, so you need to remember that. If I want to do something else or add other things in here, I can do the plus here as well. Plus. Now the thing I hate what people do sometimes is they translate the technical terms from English to Dutch. For example, toegangsbeheer. That's a Dutch term. Access control testing is still something like broken access control. I don't know. But what we would have to do is we would have to go to here. We go further. So we go out of scope, the structure of the website, the technology, what type of authentication is being used on the website. In this case, remember guys, what kind of authentication is used here? Form, that's right. We are registering in a form, we are logging in a form in this case as well. So that's the form authentication. Now we need to specify which URL is used to log in. We haven't gotten that yet, so we can't do that yet. And these parameters will be filled in automatically. As for users, you have to add specific users as well, of course. I don't have a user right now that I want to add specifically because I haven't made them yet. I have this really strange user, which was info@thexssrat.com, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I chose as a password. So it is not going to be useful to add this account. I'm going to add it anyway, so you guys can know what it's like or what it should be testing. So let's add this account, let's add a second account, let's add some fluff there. Ooh, did I press cancel? Yep, yes I did. So these two accounts, whenever I do the access control testing now, yeah, as I thought, this is not a valid entry, so of course, what am I doing? There we go. So once I have all of that information, I can much more effectively test my access control. But I don't have anything right now which I can use this on. So I have my context, I do, but in this context, I don't have any users yet, I don't have any login forms yet, I'm not complete yet. Really important. Alright, so let's move on, shall we? Because our scan is running, or at least it should have been running. Oh, it is running still. It might take a little bit, it's still running in the background. I'm gonna let it scan, and I might even start up a different scan altogether to see if we can't get some more things. And of course I will need to have my secure shell command. There we go, secure shell root. Oh no, dangerous. Please don't hack me, my friends. You know the IP address of my server now. Funnily enough, that's also Hexpert. Or no, yeah, that's Hexpert. That's Hexpert. So that server is as vulnerable as can be, my friends. I would say that the server is even more vulnerable than Yo Mama. Ooh, bam, mic drop. Well, this password's not gonna work. I hate typing on AZERTY, I mean, Jesus. I have to see that I put in the right letters. I really have to focus on that now. There we go. So I'm also going to scan with Nikto. It's a web server. Oh, I guess I fucked up. Nmap scan done, SSH and HTTPS. Those are the ports that are up and what we can focus on for deeper scans. Now, because Nmap is so slow, I'm going to add the port options, that -P, and I want only port 22 and 443 scanned here. Ooh, that should be a comma. You see, I hate that. 443. I want those scanned right now. And I want them scanned with the banner enumeration and scripting engine enabled. That's not scanning on any other ports already. That's a big plus. Of course, I've done a very shallow scan, so I might need to do more scans, which I will, of course, as well do. Oh, not make a connection to itself, that would be ridiculous. Now, what I want to do here is I want to start up Nikto as well. Nikto is a vulnerability scanner. It's old as fuck, but maybe it still has some old tricks up its sleeve that are better than the current vulnerability scanners. You never know. Let's get our host in as well, because we need to have the correct host setting. There we go, analytics.bloomop.org. Good. I'm guessing that didn't take, nope. Yeah, it's different here because right click is copy and paste at the same time. If you have something selected and you right click it, it will copy it. If you don't have anything selected and you right click, it will paste. Yeah, a little bit strange, I know. So we know now that they use OpenSSH 7.9. This is something, my friends, I will show you. Don't forget that. Make sure that you remember this. SSH root at and then the server name. So in this case, we have our server here. You can enter the IP address, you can enter the domain name. Doesn't really matter. There we go. And just try some random passwords. Just try some random shit. Root might be root, might be Tor, might be password. Nope. Gonna try again. That was not the right one. Maybe test. Nothing. Nope. Just try a few simple passwords. Just try it. And while you're doing this, of course, it's boring to show you guys me doing everything here. But what I will tell you guys is that I do everything while I am hacking alone. So I will start my secure shell connection. If it will allow me, of course. Yeah. It's a little bit messed up with this keyboard. Nope, I thought I was pressing arrow keys for frick's sake. It's okay, let's just type it over again, SSH, and this time I'm going to do admin at my host. Password, I don't know, test. Password, nope. Try again. All this is me pressing upwards on the keypad and then just trying a few random shit. Don't get it, up, enter again. Just try a few things, and you can try admin, administrator, root. Try to look some things up. They seem to be as well bloom up, so bloom up might be something that is used within the password. You never know. Usually it's some kind of combination of the organization name with either the some specific date, like the startup date, or the current year. That's what's usually used because people can easily remember the current year. Sometimes the current month with the current year, something along those lines, but something along those lines with a special character. So a exclamation mark is often used, a pound sign is often used. Those are just some tips that I can give you, my friends. Let's see, do we have any other questions? My pleasure, Nazu, I hope you enjoy. Alright, let's see and go on to the next section, shall we? Because while this is running, oh, nearly forgot. I need to do deeper SSH scans as well. Why is it always freaking scrolling up? Yeah, because I'm pressing 1. I'm an idiot. So now I'm going to do nmap scan on all ports. This might take a little bit longer. If things take a little bit longer and you know that it might take longer than you are even there for, or there might be service interruption or whatever, you might get disconnected, you might have a lot of disconnections at home, do this. So what you're going to do is no hub stand. Oof, Jesus, that's annoying. No hub stands for no hang. Why is it doing that all of the time? Yeah, I think I need to yeah. So no hub, aka no hang up. When you get disconnected, keep running. And I'm going to send this to the background with my ampersand sign. Now I have to look myself. There we go, the ampersand sign, found it. This is going to keep my scan running, even if I don't have even if I'm still like right now. Okay, I'm just gonna close my connection like a freaking moron. Well, in that case, there is still a no hangup.out. As you can see, where is it? Am I even in the right folder? There should be a no hub.out. Either that or I'm messing up. Might be messing up as well. Yeah, I might be messing up somehow. It's okay, like it should be. Oh, there it is. I'm a freaking moron. No hub.out. Yep. So it's still running. All of your output will come in that no hangup, no hub.out file. That means that it might be a little bit frustrating to read. You might not be able to read over it very well. What you can do about that or against that is, in this case, you might be wanting to, for example, go in there with nano, and then you can go and investigate it further, no hub.out. But of course that's still tedious, still very tedious, something you don't want. Always better to do, from my opinion at least, is to just run your command. Of course I'm not gonna have that on here now. So let's see, run my commands from here. Jesus, now I lost complete track of time. I don't know where I was. So we have the no hang up. Oh, of course we can. So nmap as a OA option as well. Of course, that's what I wanted to say. Good job, Wes. We got to OA in the end. We got there eventually. It only took us like an hour. But so far so good. We've done our scans. We are running our scans. We should always have at least a scan running. So we have nmap running now. I'm going to run some more scans because I haven't done the UDP ports yet. So yep, that's right. Nmap SU. And then I don't know if this is still required if you have SU, but I do it anyway just to be sure. Then the domain, and that's it. Right, let's go. Oh, I forgot, this might be a longer scan, so yep, you're right. We're going to add the ampersand sign and we're going to send this to the background. The ampersand sign is for sending things to the background, by the way, commands to the background, meaning that I can still do shit on my computer now because it is running and I don't give a crap about it. And I forgot something else as well, so I'm just going to kill this process. What you see here is the process ID. So if I wanted to kill this scan, I'm just going to do kill min9 process ID finished. no more scanning. What do I want with that? Of course, I want the output all for this, in this case, analytics.bloom-up, but I'm just gonna call it analytics. Put this in a proper folder. Don't be like me and put it in a random folder somewhere. Make sure that you're able to get this back, that you're able to read this back. Really, really important. These are just the lines from the no hangup that are already in there. Don't mind that. Ignoring input, as you can see, and appending output to no help that out. Okay, scans are running. Perfect. Yeah, Rust scan is really freaking good. PD Discovery, Project Discovery makes really freaking good tools, but I'm not here to argue which tools are better or which tools are worse. I like Rust scan. I like all of these tools. If you guys want to have the Rust scan, I like mass scan, I like Rust scan, I like, what's the other one called? There was another one. Oh, right, I don't have the chat in here. That's gonna be hard to put in there, right? Well, you can see it on screen, github.com/rustscan/rustscan. It's another port scanner as well. It also runs on Docker, but as we know, my Docker system is shit. So you also have Yay, and you have Brew, and you have the installation guide for Kali. I don't like Kali, by the way. I'm not a big Kali hacker. I don't like Kali at all. The modern port scanner finds ports quickly, 3 seconds at its fastest, runs scripts through our scripting engine. Awesome. Scan all 65,000 ports in 3 seconds. That's really cool. Of course, it's an awesome, awesome tool. But again, I'm not here to see who has the best tool or what is the best tool for a specific situation. This is just a tool that I got taught, and I'm funny enough, I still use Nmap after all these years. Well, there is definitely some better tools out there. I will put them up on screen. Project Discovery, port scan. I think that's Nabu or something from Project Discovery. Port scan. Yeah, that's not the one I was talking about. That's working. Oh, I really thought that they also had a port scanner. Wasn't Nabu like a port scanner as well? Nabu is a port scanning tool written in Go. Yep, I wasn't wrong. And if you think you can write your own port scanning tools better, be my freaking guest. We need security. We need these kind of tools. Don't be like, oh, somebody else already wrote this before me. I'm never gonna be able to write it. There's no point in me writing it. No, identify the key issues that are wrong with that application or that implementation, and then go after those. Let's see, so where were we? Let's get some actual hacking started, because all we've been doing is preparing. But yes, friends, preparation for hacking takes a long time. I hope you realize this as well. We've been streaming for a little bit now, and you guys are doing really well. If you want, feel free to hack along, but we are going to start on some cool things, I'd say. So I'm not going to do any of that. What I'm going to do is grab my links. There we go. Analytics.bloom-up. We are investigating that. The same for this. I'm not going to repeat on chat.bloomup.org. You just repeat yourself. And here we have our first glimmer of the app itself. I'm probably gonna have to register as well. So I'm going to, yep, that's my starting point. Select launch browser, and then I am gonna come to that login field. So I'm gonna fill that in. Believe me, I might need that later. Continue to your target. So, okay, we don't have an account. We can register as a client or as a professional, but we already have that professional thing behind us. So let's start now with the normal user. How old are you? 18 years old. I'm a man, no preference, doesn't really matter. Choose topics, I don't care. Find match. Alright, so we already have some requests that are coming throughout the API. Like James Beer said in his training already, APIs, I really love them. UIs are there to protect the user from their own stupidity. The APIs are there to protect the system from malicious actors. UI should be doing checks like, is the length correct? Do I have an email address here? Is this not a phone number? Those should be UI checks. anything deeper than that, anything related to this type of things should be checked by an API in my opinion. But maybe I'm just in a little bit of an opinionated rat. You can see here mutation already, mutation and query. Whenever I see that, I'm reminded of, if you guys know, put it in the chat already and put enter, because I'm really curious if you guys know what I'm gonna be thinking of. It has something to do with query, structured query language, but in the non-structured way. Oh yes, definitely, this will be kept on my YouTube channel, my friend. Unless YouTube forces me to put it down, then I'm going to bring it to other platforms. So here, you guys might have already guessed it, yes, I'm going to drive for NoSQL injection. Why is that? I will look up the NoSQL manual for a little bit, and you guys will immediately see what I mean. So, manual, there we go. The article NoSQL doesn't really matter which NoSQL database, except all. Let's see, I just want the, let's take the REST API interface. Maybe I have what I need there. No, this is not gonna bring me what I need. Freaking, you're no use, Oracle. Go cry in a corner. So, where is it? This is a great article, by the way. No, I can't find it, but you guys can see when you investigate NoSQL that it's really all about your relationship and not so much about how every single record is structured. Your records can be structured differently. You can have mutations on those records, etc. So that's why I think immediately, okay, I see mutations here. I see my query itself. That's probably NoSQL injection. Nevertheless, going to investigate it anyway. So let's see the request that we have here with an operation name, variables, and a query. Yep, my friends, this is clear as day, NoSQL. Alright, then I'm going to try for NoSQL injection, of course. Now I can do that in many different ways. First thing I can see here is that everything is delimited by a double quote. So what am I going to try to do? Of course, try to enter a double quote in there somewhere and see if I can break out of this and create my own NoSQL queries. That's something you can do. It's the same as with a normal SQL query. You have your single quote, your double quote, whatever it is. You throw a single quote in there. Oh, your query is suddenly broken. It's gonna throw errors. Same gonna go for here. You're gonna get query errors for this one if you manage to get your double quote in there somehow. And you're gonna investigate further. Okay, I've broken out of this section. Then I need to write my own query in this way. That is NoSQL injection. So it's gonna be really, really useful if you learn more about that. In the article itself, NoSQL, I'm by no means the authority in NoSQL injection. I'm by no means the authority in SQL injection. I know it exists, I know how to hack for it, but when it comes down to doing that on an actual real target, that's why I hire people, man. I'm not gonna do SQL injection, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I love these live streams. It'd be great if you did them more often. Yeah, I love them as well, my friend. Worst comes to worst, but the replay, we will make it available on other platforms. Yeah, definitely. If we have to, we will put this on GitHub or whatever, or our own website, of course. We have our own website. I keep forgetting about that. So that's a thing. Now, you guys, I want to talk about something. Your automated scanners. Because you have your automated vulnerability scanners, which do dynamic analysis and static analysis, aka you have your scanners that are going to scan the source code, and you have your scanners that are going to run the application and see if they can find any dynamic vulnerabilities. Your scanner right here, and I'm not even going to open this one because there might actually be PII disclosed there. I don't think so, but just to be sure, I need to check anyway. CSP header not set. This is not something you report in bug bounties. Cross-domain misconfiguration. This is not even from that part. This is from Mozilla.com. And here we have one cross-domain misconfiguration where web browser data loading may be possible due to You already see it coming. You're gonna have to verify this. So no anti-CSRF tokens. Bro, I haven't even logged in yet. Jesus, why is every CSRF scanner so happy on finding no CSRF tokens on things that shouldn't have a CSRF token? Missing anti-click check headers. No, this is something you can't even report. Server leaks version number or for security. Does it really now? Is that important? No, you're not gonna report this. So you can see your scanners here. Well, freaking cool, well, freaking awesome. They're not really the end all be all. It's up to you to really find the vulnerabilities, and especially on programs that have scanners disabled. Now I'm going to quickly put on a different screen so you guys cannot watch my screen while I investigate this for a second and see if there's actually PII disclosure, because that might be pretty bad. Yeah, there is some credit card number in there, but I wonder where the heck it got that from. Because if I look at this, it's an API call to mozilla.com/v1/bucket/security state/collections/intermediate/change set. And the request itself, if I look at the request, it's just a get call. And it returns a 200 OK with like a lot of data. And what is returned here is my bank information number. And what type of card has been detected. I don't think this is PII. I just checked, by the way, this is not my bank identification number, so it's not super important, or at least, I mean, it's not something that you can use. It's not valid. There's nothing really here to actually indicate PII, which definitely indicates that you have to investigate everything 10 times over, my friends. And if you found something, calm down for half an hour, then go back to your computer and try to redo the steps that you just did. Try to just duplicate your finding. Why is that important? Because in your excitement, you might be testing broken access control. You might be seeing, oh shit, this is green where it should be red, and you start reporting it. I've had this happen more than one time and then realize, oh, I've been using the wrong JWT token. Of course this is giving me green where it should be green. Yikes. Alright, I think that is about it for this. Let's see if we have anything else that's just found on Firefox, so we don't even care. If I want to see only the alerts here, I can do that as well, but for me it doesn't really matter. I don't even really look at these alerts unless I'm pen testing. Of course you need to remind your client of this when pen testing. You should report this as soon as possible. Like, never in a million years should your server leak information through the HTTP response headers. It's a simple thing to disable, and only if it's really required should it be enabled. So I'm going to report this on my pen test, same thing here, but they're going to be recorded as low/informative, missing anti-click checking headers. I don't even report this as low either. Now in this case you kind of have to as well, because we are bound to sometimes CVSS scores that we have to follow, etc. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, because that has not been the focus of today, or at least that should not be the focus of today. Turns out something went wrong. Well, strange, right? I wonder what went wrong. I wonder if we can still investigate that in some way. Because as you can see here, we do not have our HTTP history, or do we? Yes, we do. Everything you say that it doesn't have, I'm gonna say you Zap does have. And it might be a little bit confusing, but it's all for good faith. Like, I like Zap a lot more than I like Burp Suite. I'm getting to grow on it more and more. I use it, the more and more I'm starting to grow on it. So let's see what one of the last calls was. One of the last calls was to Matomo. Then we have the plugins heat map, and we have another post to Matomo. That is their logging shit. We have a request here with a specific action name. I'm gonna try some things on here though. So I'm going to add this in the request response editor. So there we go. And then I'm going to try some things on here. First of all, of course, SQL injection. So my single quote, double quote, my greater than sign, normally also my backtick, but I'm too lazy to Google it again. And then your image. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, my keyboard is a keyboard that I don't normally use. and it doesn't have that stupid backtick on it. So let's do this, and let's hope that we have the dollar sign. Yep, there we go. Should we have that there? Yep. And then with the dollar sign, we want to add in some 7x7 for some template injections. In case you guys don't know, single quote, double quote, they all test for JavaScript injection, because if you inject this into JavaScript where there's already a single quote and it's into a variable, then you're gonna break out of it and break your JavaScript. This is for the HTML tag attribute injection. Then we have your broken image for your HTML injection. A random value just to search for on the page, so you know, okay, if I search for this value, I'm going to find my cross-site scripting attack vector, and I know where it is landed. That's important because sometimes this, for example, gets transformed into the %GT sign. Then, of course, you can't find it if you look for this literally image source equals image greater than sign, because, of course, the conversion has been made. So that is why that random value is important. 7x7 is your template injection, both front-end and back-end template injection. And we should give it a shot, shall we? I think a lot of you can see already how this can go wrong, but let's do it anyway. Response 204, no response. No clue what happened there. But let's first of all do something that we should always do. HTML encode our values. So I cannot really find it in Zap immediately. It might be in there, it might not, but it's not a big thing. You can always add like a decoder. I literally fell from my chair. Oh my god, I wish you guys should have seen this. This would be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. So we are going to URL encode. That hurt my ass, dude. What the fuck? Oh my god. Uncle Red falls from his chair with amazement when he sees this bug bounty. I can actually put that up. Falling from my chair from amazement when I see this bug bounty response. Ooh. 400 bad request. That's a different story, because it means it did take our special attack vector there. Now that's interesting. Why is that interesting? That's, oh shit. Control Alt C. Nope. Yeah, I cannot get it back. Oh, there it is. Nope. Nope. I don't know, man. I don't know what I did to get it back. It's okay. So let's close that and pretend that never happened. And let's reopen that in the request. There we go. So now I need to know, does it respond to blind SQL injections? That's an important one I would like to know. So I'm going to try for that. I'm also going to try for blind cross-site scripting. Once again, if I find anything on this, it is Matomo. It is not BloomUp. But it is still things that I need to investigate and look at. Because you can report it to Matomo, but they need to know if there's a vulnerability in Matomo. That's at least my opinion. You don't have to report it to them, report it to Matomo, to their SQL, whatever, but you can still let them know in some way, even just sending an email. Now, let's continue a little bit. This is all front-end BS. I don't like this. I don't need this, but what I would like is content discovery, of course. I would like to see if I can find any subdirectories on here which might be interesting. How am I going to do that, you might be wondering? Well, I'm going to open my fuzzer. With fuzzer, I can do all of that. So I have my request in here, and for those of you who used Fuff before, this is already pretty familiar for you. So we're going to fuzz certain locations in here, and in this case it's going to be in here somewhere. I'm just going to take a different starting point. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to change, so put that in fuzz. And all I wanted was this main.js file. Now first of all, I'm going to look for the subdirectories. That's what I need. So we're going to, believe it or not, where is it? I hate that this is so, yeah, there we go. This is really cool, by the way, if you guys didn't know that, but Zap has built-in fuzzers, built-in files, I should say, for fuzzing. and it's using dirbuster directory list 1.0, which is a big one, by the way, so make sure that you get the right ones. You can also use medium 2.3, and then of course you have some jbro fuzz files in here as well, which are awesome. URL exploits, URI cross scripting. No, that's not really it. These are more like the exploits themselves. I'm gonna let this run, and I'm going to be right back for a freaking pee. I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Yeah, I might I might take that as a new title, Mr. Lemon. Let's see. There we go. I changed the title of the stream. That should reflect things more accurately. Also, can I just say, this whole stream, I saw you guys here are like 40 the whole stream here, which is massive shout out to you guys. Jesus Christ, I could never have imagined this, and now there's like over 40 people here. Freaking insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Let's see. Open redirect. Where did you find that, my friend Abhishek? How many bucks you're looking for in a day? How many programs? Bro, like one per week, one per month. I'll be happy with for this shit with more months. Like, this is all just very basic stuff that I'm trying right here. Just very, very basics to get to know my application. That's something you should always be doing. All of you, get to know your application. Have Burp Suite open in the background. Have OWASP open in the background. I don't give a crap. but just have something in the background so you can start exploring as well. Now here you can see some of the side errors, some of the page errors. Here you can see the page stuff, you can see the side stuff. Again, look at it, but make sure that you don't report anything without verifying it, because if it's this easy to catch, anybody can catch it. And let's be real, it'd be gone in seconds. So what is really useful here is that if I want to start a spider from this point, for example, I can start my spider. So it says app is not in scope. In order to do that, you must add it. Add for spidering. Well, the thing is, the same for my fuzzer here. I think I just made a huge mistake, and yeah, I made a fucking mistake. That's something that I will have to own up to. So this fuzzer right here that I have set up is not set up with the correct amount of requests per second. This is the concurrent scanning threads per scan. So that means that if it's scanning, it can scan with 5 threads at the same time. Sometimes, if the requests take less than a second to come in, some threads might have more than 1 request per second to handle. So it will easily bump up for a few. So like 1, 2 here would be a good idea. Maybe even, because like depends on how much each thread can actually execute. Now this is super important. This is really important, my friends. Don't skip over this. Always set up your scans that they scan according to the requirements of the program. Am I gonna get fired for this? Am I gonna get my bounties denied because I scanned at 5 concurrent threads per second instead of 2? No, definitely not. But you just have to remember that every single time you do this, if there's a new program coming out and there's a million hackers doing this, I'm just saying a million, God hope that we can get a million to integrity, but let's say that there's 1,000 hackers doing scans all at the same time with more than 5 requests per second. Even with just 5 requests per second, I see it coming dicey very fast. Jesus, I have to burp all the time. My bad. Hey Darby, cheers my friend. No, you guys are the man. I'm so glad that you are here and that you're freaking supporting me through thick and thin. It's freaking awesome. Have I messed around with ChatGPT? No, not yet. Well, to a degree, but I don't really find AI that interesting. In the sense that, yeah, it's interesting, believe me. I know the whole calculations and black box shit that goes on behind that AI. It's cool, but it's not something that I find interesting. Meaning that I prefer to look at other things, and it's cool. Yeah, I guess it's cool that AI can do that shit now, but what did you expect? Did you really expect that computers weren't able to be doing this in like 10 years time? Look how fast everything's growing. Look how fast everything's going from, Jesus, it's racing almost, and it keeps accelerating as well. So yeah, AI, it's not just a possibility or even a probability. It's something that is going to happen. We just have to learn to live with AI in a correct set of rules, because of course all of the dilemmas that we see for AI right now are the dilemmas that we see as humans. We see as humans that these are dilemmas. Like, for example, you have that example of the self-driving car, and then I'll quit. You have that example of the self-driving car who has to swirl to avoid a small kid from getting hit, a 6-year-old kid. But in swirling, he drives over an 80-year-old grandmother. Well, should the car swirl or not? We, as humans, think about it that way. But for the car, they don't have morality. We think, oh, we shouldn't hit that old person because we have morals. We don't want to kill that old person. No, you don't want to kill that young kid. That's the thing. Like, humans have that threshold as well. We would probably freeze the fuck up. So that's why AI would even be a better decision maker than us in that point. Anyway, I think that has a long way to go. AI, believe me, you can ask some of these questions and they might seem extremely profound, but then you ask it another question and sometimes it sounds stupid as fuck. It really depends on how you formulate your question as well, what data it has been trained on. I like it though, because, no joke, it could fool me in a Turing test. It would fool me in a Turing test, definitely. But everything fools me in a Turing test. My vacuum cleaner comes up to me and says, I'm not a robot. You're right. Sorry, that's bullshit. Oh shit, it's 3:26 a.m. You guys are crazy. You guys are freaking crazy. Jesus. 3:26 a.m. Go to bed, my friends. I'm going to do this more often, of course. I'll try to do this every weekend at least. Hopefully you guys can push up my channel enough to where I can quit any type of normal day job that I have and I can just continue streaming for you guys. That would be freaking awesome. But I'm not at that point yet, unfortunately. By the way, what's really cool is that while I'm hacking, I have these sound activated LED bars here. LED bars, really freaking cool, because every time I talk, these things light up, so I feel like I'm in my own private show here. Anyway, fuzzing has been done, or should be done. What about the rest? We haven't really looked at all of this yet, so we don't have a lot of other things that we can look at for this scope. There just isn't a lot of things that we can do, but let's see. Okay, this is the first one. So we don't have any requests yet. There we are. History. Just hedonism. Jesus Christ. Instead of just keeping it cold, I don't like it. Start. So perfect. What do we have? Some requests to Sentry slash API slash v4 slash envelope. I think Sentry was the analytics thing, right? Let's view the request. Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, something along these lines. Not really that useful. Matomo. And then we have our analytics calls. Not really useful yet. Okay, so no preference. Let's click next. And then we have some requests, some more requests that are coming in already. So I stopped here. Now we have API. Yes, by the way, I'm going through each of these. I'm going through every single record in here. You can also go through your sitemap, whichever you prefer, but at least now I know what's going on screen. So just a call to the API, I am assuming. Let's see, fragment specialty on specialties, team combo. Oh, so query on specialties. And what was the response in this case? The specialties. Wow, what a surprise. Yeah, those are just the items that can be picked, which are returned from the database. Then again, event submission rejected with reason course. What time I'll oh, of course. By the way, this is funny. All of their events towards Sentry seem to fail. Event submission rejected with reason course. Funny. Seems their course isn't correctly set up. Alright, where were we? I have to keep focused. Sentry analytics. You know what? I really don't care about these. I don't want to have them in there. Can't do that. So let's add a filter exclusion list. I don't want Sentry. And I don't want analytics. Let's see. Apply. There we go. That's a lot better. So we have JS files being received, some basic files, not really what I want. So let's see if we submit everything. Do we at least get something then? Nope. Maybe I removed too much. Maybe Sentry was still something that was required. I think I might have messed it up now. Here I am talking about how wonderful Zap is. Yeah, I messed it up in the sense that all of my requests are downstairs again. I hate that. So let's see. API, just an API call, but this is update matched human worries. Here we already have some more things that we can try to mess with. So let's send this in the request resend editor. So we have some apparently specialty team combinations. Apparently these are the specialty teams that we've chosen. with a query mutation update match human worries. So that query is going to get executed. What's the response on that? Okay. So no worries. Yes. We are actually inserting data into the database already, so that's important to realize. We are putting stuff into the database apparently for a non-existing user in this case, or at least somebody who we don't really have any information about yet. Now, what can we do, you might be wondering. So you see here, input matched worries input. In this case, there is really nothing here when it comes to that. So, oh, here you go, update matched human worries. That's the query itself. ID this much, created add, blah blah, updated add worries, and then a DLL. That's not what I had there, but come on, I guess so. Preferred professional gender, none. Chosen professional ID, none, because I don't have one, of course. User UUID, null, and because that's because I'm not registered yet. With type name matched human. So what I would like to know here is there are a few things in the request that I might be able to edit and I might be able to get some responses from. So first things first, let's maximize this so I can see a little bit better. Can we enlarge this? Is there a possibility? No, I guess not. I guess we'll have to get our magnifying glasses out. Variables input, specialty team combo IDs, query. That's your query, so specialties team combo IDs. Do we have that ourselves as well? And the response, specialties. Nope, we do not have any specialties things in here. So, of course, we have chosen professional, preferred gender, age, worries. I think it was supposed to be that worries field or something, but yeah. It's not in there. There's no specialties team combination IDs in there. So not really that useful, I guess. I thought I could inject more in here, but unfortunately that's a no. So then we go back to Sentry. Here we have another operation for the API. I'm going to quickly filter out those entries anyway, because I really don't need them. Sentry and analytics, and it's only making things worse for me. Filter on. There we go. I might have spelled analytics wrong since it's still in here. Analytics. Yeah, it's not really. Oh, of course, because this is a regular expression. Okay, let's just focus on the API then. Let's just do API dot acceptance. That means that the URL must match this regular expression. Oh, of course, I need to do that well then, of course. Let's remove it all. Can we filter by right-clicking? That should be a possibility. I don't think so. Not my main focus either, just wanted to see if there was a possibility for that. Now, in this case I cannot find it, so if anybody from Zap is watching, I'm sorry, I did my best. I don't know Dutch, okay? So, manage exclude from proxy spider scanner. This is the history tab, so nope, manage history tags, nope. That's not something either. I didn't get it, but that's okay. What is this? Show all URLs in scope. Show links with sites. Linked with sites selection. So this is the link with the sites. You can export these as well. Really useful if you want to run SQL map or anything on the parameters that you found. Nothing that I need to search for. So that's it. Nope. That's nothing I need here. Nothing I need from this. Because I don't really have any users yet, unfortunately. Please, integrity, approve my users so we can hack a little bit more. And then, is there anything else that we need to do right here? I don't think so. So we tried to submit our values, which happened. Analytics Sentry. This might be it. I think. This seems to be a post to the API, which seems to contain some values like that professional, but this is just that thing that we saw that a user was being created, but it didn't have any user UIDs. Maybe that's why we couldn't register either. Maybe that's part of the process before that. That's just the translations of everything that can be chosen. Nope, not gonna worry about it too much. Let's try for some other things. If we still have a possibility, of course, because we can see that not a lot can be done here. Of course, we have our history in here as well. Super useful because you can immediately see, oh, I'm clicking this, clicking support now, what's happening? Email sent, okay, but is there anything in the history tab? I think we're quite stuck right now. So that's something we should be reporting as well. The stream seems to be fixing Integrity's bug bounty programs. Well, let's see. How are you guys, by the way? Hope you're all doing well. Let's see. Hello. Sorry to bother you, sir. My space is broken now. First my D was broken, now my space is broken. Yeah. No, stop it. Yeah, to bother you. But I cannot. I need to get a new keyboard. And the thing is, I have really good keyboards, but I'm just too lazy to install them right now. Well, not really lazy, it's 1:40 a.m. Let's give me at least a little bit of a break. I can have some sleep and some laziness, right? Nope, I will have to pick the right program from there. As a normal user. Alright, now I'm going to leave you guys with one last important message that I think everybody should be more aware of. Give me 1 second so I can add the screenshot as well. Hey, there we go. I have to remember snipping tool. Fuck. Just want a new sketch. There we go. Was that so hard? It's with these tools, like, they give you a lot more options than you actually need. Like this, I don't have my screenshot yet. Why? So, snipping tool, I think is what it's called. Oh, right. On Windows. So, that's called, yeah, snipping tool.exe, knipprogramma. We have to be special, of course. Let's see, so we have at least this under control. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a lesson, so sit down and hold on to your chair. This is gonna surprise you. Bug bounty platforms aren't there for us. They're there to make money. And I know that sounds very surprising, shocking, right? Making money, who would want to do that? But here's the thing. They're there for the companies that make them money. You as a hacker, you're not really the thing that makes them money. Of course, they need you, they need us as hackers, but they aren't there to make our lives easier. They're there to make the platform's life easier. Sorry, the client's life easier. You need to really remember that well. And why do I say that? Because a lot of you guys will have hacker remediation, will have problems where you say, oh, hacker one, I reported this, but the program isn't responding or whatever. They don't really care. They can ask for an update, they can ask again, but if they don't get any update, what you have to remember as Integrity being as is just a company, okay, that sends out these requests to other companies. Listen, come join our bug bounty platform, but they don't meet with them every single day or every single week. It's more like, hey, we will handle the triaging for you, we will rake in some money, and everybody's happy because we get your money, the hackers get some money, we get some money, you guys are more secure, everybody's happy. It's a win-win-win situation, definitely. But if you're ever in a situation where it's between you or the company, believe me that the company is going to win. That's just as simple as it is. Every single time that you do this, the company has veto right, meaning that they ultimately get to say what's wrong and what's right. If they tell you that they have a massive IDOR on their website that's leaking all their customer data, but they tell you that they don't, yeah, well, good luck fighting that. I know, you see it, you can confirm it, whatever, but they're not gonna pay if they don't wanna pay. If they really are stubborn and don't wanna pay, you're not gonna get your money for that. Even though you found it, it's valid, you've been able to confirm it, maybe even with multiple people. Yeah. One thing you always need to be careful about when you go hacking, at least in my opinion, is that you take a program that you can hack with your friends on, that you know that your friends are going to put in as much time as you, because that is a very, very big deal breaker for a lot of people. Their friends hack with them, hack along with them, and they see that they spend, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours per day hacking, but the friend only spends 1 or 2, or not even that, he just comes online to say hello. Make sure that you have somebody who is about your security level, about your level of experience, that is, and who knows his way around things, but is still struggling with the topics that you're also struggling with to a degree. You don't want somebody who is miles ahead of you, because they're only gonna have to drag you along, and you don't want to be that person getting dragged along. It's not fun for either party. In the beginning I said it might even lead to parasocial relationships, but I think that even like out of a parasocial relationship, you get something, right? Anyway, I'm rambling a lot. It's 1:45 a.m. I've been bothering Integrity with about 3 questions that are totally not related to bug bounties, but yeah, that's my autism, I guess. I love you guys so much, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you being here. I can see it here on my screen, 465 views, 9 minutes and 17 average view time. Wow, my head is blown off. That's amazing, my friends. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm really, really happy for that. I really am. I'm going to go to bed with a huge smile on my face today, so thank you very much, everybody, for helping me bring that smile to my face. And let's do this more, shall we? Because I also had fun, and I didn't even really get to demonstrate a lot of hacking. All I did was talk. Yeah, well, guess what, my friends? As you see hackers go, they're doing that in their head. They're talking to themselves in their head at a pace you probably can't even keep up, because it's their talk, their speak. Yep, that's how it goes. Also, just something I wanted to tell you guys, just the last thing, then I'll go. I'll leave you to your days and do get jerking off. I mean, get hacking on programs. Jesus, no, I can't even remember. Don't worry. Oh, right. If you see anybody, a content creator who is doing videos, who is creating articles, who is doing whatever to keep you entertained, yeah, thank them. Really do thank them and realize how much effort it mustn't take to be there on stage, on screen, in front of 40, 50 people, and to keep talking about what you're doing, what you're hacking, how you're hacking it. It's really not that easy, believe me. But you guys make it easy on me, so I really appreciate every single one of you being here. I will not show much more hacking. I'm just going to leave it on like this. There we go, and I will be talking to you guys a little bit more if you would like. I'm going to stop recording now as well. There we go. But I'm still streaming, so everything should be good. Hey, thanks Darby, man. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here as well, Lemon. I really, I don't say this enough, but I really appreciate you being here. And not just here, being there as a friend. It's just super important for me. For a lot of you guys, I don't say this often enough, but I want to keep up with every single one of you, but it's so freaking difficult. I am lost. I'm totally lost. You guys can honestly know this from me. I'm freaking lost. I don't know how to handle this situation. I have about 3 or 4 projects that I manage. I have a lot of people that I have to talk to, but I find it really hard to make time for them and to always be talking. and not do any work myself. But I think I'm evolving towards that, unfortunately, to a degree. Also, fortunately, it's a good problem to have, but it's a problem. I still feel like I'm fucking lost. I don't know what to do. I want to help my friends. For example, I want to give my friends a job, but I didn't even know, like, the last thing I want is to give them a job and then to have to say after 2 months, I'm sorry, we can't continue anymore, because then they'll already start banking on that continuous paycheck. They'll start banking on the money coming in. I want to be able to reward my friends adequately for what they do, but then I am torn apart by the dilemma that it's usually a lot more expensive to get the same work done. So I guess I will have to find the right balance between letting some people do some work and letting other people do other work. I'm trying to find a balance now where I see where people's skill sets are and I try to assign them that kind of work. But that's not always guaranteed to work either, of course. And in case you guys want to know, for everybody who works in my company, I do this. I'm going to set up like a document where we're going to have some evaluation things that they're going to have to put their own action points into. I'm not gonna say which action points, I'm just gonna say which problems that should be fixed or should be remediated, should be evolved from. And then it's up to the rat themselves to put in the action plan, to put in the steps, but also the plan. Like, okay, when are you gonna be done with this? When are you gonna be done with that? And then follow up on that as well, weekly if need be. I would like to have a weekly meeting with all of my guys and ask, okay, how is it coming along? Are you getting there? Is there something stopping you? Do you need help with anything? I just wish that like I could give everybody a job without having to worry about money myself, but unfortunately it's not that easy. And then also, even if I would not have to worry about money myself, where do you draw the line, right? Because you always want to pay your friends more. It's as simple as that. Of course you want to pay your friends more. You want to put them in good, well-paying positions. That being said, I think it's really important to have somebody near me who I can trust as well. So even though the work might be cheaper from somebody who's like in India or Pakistan or whatever, it might be a lot cheaper there, but that's not per se better. Not at all. I need to be able to trust some of these people with a lot. I'm building up a big reputation here with over 3 or 4 years of work have already gone into this rat. And one person can totally break that in 1 second. All they would have to do is leak data from my client. Simple as that. Can be a stupid Facebook post with a document on the background. Yeah, well, if it's sensitive information from our clients and they get hacked, we are fucked. So yeah, I really have to be able to trust them, and I have a certification progress for that, and I have everything that I set in motion for that, like NDAs and contracts and whatever. But let's be real, if somebody wants to break it, they'll break it. It's as simple as that. So it's also a little bit of need to know basis for information. Only if you need to know certain information, so you get access to that. And that way, of course, you can only leak the documents that you have access to already to start with. Plus, I also want to work on a way that, like, we are going to work much more secure with documents. Right now, we're just working with documents, sharing them, etc. Okay, they have a password on them, whatever. I want to put that in a secure file vault. I'm not going to worry about that too much myself. I set up a secure file vault. I need to investigate it still, but then my stream started, so I hopped on here. But it is something that I'm still looking into. Also, keep your chat. Keep your chat is really awesome. It's super, super awesome in the sense that it's secure, encrypted, whatever the fuck you want, with all of those buzzwords. But in this case, secure chat. Why is? Oh my god, sorry, my bad. I was logging into my account and I got blocked out, but that's my own that's my own fault. Not smart. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not logging in on my computer, by the way, which is why you guys can't see it. But I'm kind of a big Keeper fan. I can enforce two-factor authentication. I can see if my if my guy's compliance is correct with their password. Like, they can't have leaked passwords, of course, because everything in Keeper should be XSS related or their own stuff, but I could still see if it's not compliant at that point, and I don't think they want that. I would be pestering them every 5 seconds. Hey, you have a non-compliant password in there. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find my one-time password for my Keeper, I think. Yep, my Keeper account. 442. Do yourself a favor and enable two-factor authentication. I recently got an email from Twitch. Really freaking cool, you'd say, but not as cool as you might imagine. I got an email from Twitch saying that my password was changed, and I logged in from some kind of strange, I don't know where. Really freaking strange, but I had two-factor authentication on, so it wasn't a huge deal. Let's see if we can get live chat up in here. It should be able to. And yeah, this is why it can take weeks to hack one target. It can take literal weeks. Don't be surprised if it takes a long time. Let's see. Oh, 50% of you like bug bounties. My man, you guys need to really learn that bug bounties isn't the end-all be-all. Like, I'm happy to teach you bug bounties. I really am. I'm more than happy to teach you bug bounties, but a lot of people see this as oh, we're gonna rake in the cash, we're gonna rake in the money. It's not like that, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's not like that at all. Bug bounties is just having fun, and any reward is an extra on top of that. But it's having fun. If you really want to hack, it's simple. If you really want to hack, become a pen tester, or do this in your free time. Because bug bounties isn't even hacking anymore. Let's be real, you're executing much more. Either you're looking for a attack surface that hasn't been found yet, or for specific exploits that haven't been found yet, or for regression bugs. But by the time it gets to you, it'll already be past the stage of a vulnerability scanner, of probably 2 pen testers, of probably 20 bug bounty hunters, and then it's up to you. So in my opinion, bug bounties is not even hacking anymore. It's much more advanced than that. That being said, sorry, if you really want to do bug bounties, focus on Web 3.0 bug bounties. Web 3.0 is coming up. Learn Web 3.0, make your own smart contracts, and try to do some bug bounties on some smart contracts. Why not, right? Or on some cryptocurrency exchanges. Always a good idea. Let's see. I hope so, Mr. Lemon. I hope it will get easier. I just need it for myself to grow in this role, I guess, as well. And in the beginning, I just wanted to help too many people. For now, I'm glad that the people I work with are there, and there are some people that I'm going to still onboard again, but under different circumstances. And that will be good. That will be good for my team until we really need extra people. But I just need the people that I can rely on around me, and I just need to be able to. I am also, by the way, if you guys don't know, I am not a no-sayer. I'm definitely a yes-sayer. Like, I really have trouble saying no, or to have, like, if somebody tells me, like, for example, this rat cheese wheel costs 4,000 euros. I'll be like, okay, I'll buy it. Instead of being like, would you take 3,500? There's no shame in trying that, right? But still. And even you can even put your foot down and say, no, I'm not paying more than 3,000. And if you can't agree on a price, then you can't agree, but at least you'll have met in the middle, or try to have met in the middle, instead of just saying, no, it's not possible. So yeah, my communication needs to be a lot better. I need to be able to say yes and no. I just need to be able to speak my mind, I guess. Definitely. That's a great recommendation. Keep getting courses that help you grow, that help you learn, but also just volunteering for work. Like, I know that sometimes it might seem a little bit strange because you work like an adult. Every single hour you work, you get paid for. Why wouldn't you get paid for the hour you're working to create that PowerPoint, right? But it'll be so much, like, you will give a different experience to the person you're charging. A much different experience. Let's see. You have a big thanks, my friend. I really appreciate that, Darby, but I also am an idiot at times. I'm a freaking moron, and if you cut me, I bleed red, just like you guys. The CNWPP is something that will help you become a pen tester. Yeah, definitely. So talk a little bit about CNWPP, how we get the certificate. So we have just added things to the CNWPP even. I'm going to, give me 1 second, I'm going to light my joint and then we can talk about this. There we go. CNWPP, Certified Networks and Web App Pen Testing Professional. And guess what, my friends? We even threw APIs in there. So, first of all, CNWPP, if you want to pass, you need to know more than, this is not even correct anymore, but you need to know more than just pen testing itself. It's really simple to say, okay, I can do an Nmap scan, I can do Nicto scans, I know how to find the vulnerabilities even, I might know how to test for SQL injection. That's great, but we leave that to the juniors to a degree. In a sense that you're executing at that point. You're executing something that somebody else has thought up for you. At a certain point, you'll want to evolve as well to a bit of a higher level. Okay, right now I want to know about test plans, test methodologies, deliverables. All of these things are going to come in handy as well, because this whole certification has initially been made to certify the people that want to work for me, which is why I made that. So you have the pen test plan, of course, that's going to be important. Your assignments of making a test plan. You're going to make things, you're just going to, and I know it's annoying, you might be thinking, oh, I'm making a test plan for a practice platform. Yeah, still do it, like get used to it. I will tell you one thing, my friends, documentation is one of the least pleasant things out there. Then some extras, this is not the full structure anymore, by the way. I still have to change this. I'm going to, let me see real quick, because I keep adding things to it, of course. No. Then here, I guess. Yep, there we go. Courses. And then we want to CNWPP. So this is what the course should look like at the moment. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see better and get extra big pictograms. So, whoa, what the hell is this? That looks ugly. Alright, so first of all, defining what a pen test is. So what is a pen test? What types of pen tests are there? The deliverables that belong to a pen test, the pen test plan, then an assignment for making a plan, plus I put in a solution as well for you guys to help you along a little bit with creating your own plans. This is a solution that I put up, but I would expect you to create your own, of course. And I put another example in here for a report as well. Now, I'm going to add another report template soon that is based on the template that we use internally. So I just need to make sure that there's nothing in that template that can be condemning or whatever, because we might have copy pasted it from wherever. I will get that up soon. Then we talk about the report, debriefing, and then some extras. And you might be thinking, isn't that all a little bit strange? Like, you talk about scoping a pen test, debriefing, report, but we didn't even put anything to report on yet. We don't even have anything to know. What are we gonna do? Okay, that's where your test plans and stuff like that come in. But I'm going to give you an introduction in this section, just so you already know, and we can carry it throughout the other sections and make reports as we go. So then we have network scans. Of course, after this specific network scanning part, there's always going to be an assignment after most of these chapters. For example, SMB doesn't have one because my server doesn't have SMB. FTP has an assignment, port scanning, Nmap should have an assignment, or should get an assignment. That is, there are a lot of tools in here that are going to be used, like Zenmap, Wireshark, Nicto. Really useful altogether. I will show you guys Zenmap at a later date, but this is more the network scanning part. And then for web exploits, There isn't really all that much in here. It might seem like a lot, but JWT is a small one, CSRF is a small one, burp is a bigger one, of course, fuzzing is a bigger one, but then we have open redirects, small, SSRF, small, and these are all labs. So it's a lot of practice for the web part, also practice for the network part, by the way, just so you guys don't think that you're coming off easy there. And here we have some really interesting facts like IDOR, broken access control, one of my favorite vulnerability types, of course, besides XSS, and then business logic flow. These are a little bit heavier, so it seems like there's less in this folder. As you can see here, there's simply more files there. There's 30 items in total. Well, if we go to the web exploits 2, we are at 20 items, so that's 10 less, but the intensity of these items varies a lot more. There's going to be more in it. Then we have XPath injection, for example, insecure deserialization, XSS. Do I think you need to know insecure deserialization by heart? No, but I do think you need to be able to recognize a serialized value. Simple as that. If you see serialized values, you need to be able to think, oh wait, insecure deserialization, and then look that up. I don't expect you to know that from inside out. Methodologies. Seems simple. Seems really simple, but it's not. I can promise you that. Then we have vulnerability scanners. Of course, we need vulnerability scanners as well. OWASP top 10. That's for the OWASP mobile and API and web top 10, that is. And then the pen testing methodologies. This is one of my favorite chapters from my end. And this is where I fuck people over a lot. Because, you will have to select your own pen testing methodology as well. I think it crashed a little bit on me there, but that's no problem. Let's just go. Can I go back to this folder? Barely not. Nope. It's done. Oh, there it is. File location. Yep, we're back. So these are the methodologies. Main app hacking methodology, broad scope hacking methodology, Active Directory hacking overview. Also working on a network part here, network vulnerability scanning or network attacking. Then you have your vulnerability scanners, OWASP top 10. By the way, I know it's not really a vulnerability scanner, but I put things like Postman in here, for example, because I think these should be in here somewhere. Didn't really think they would fit anywhere else. When it comes to the methodologies, I will screw you over, because, for example, you will need to create your own method. You will need to select a methodology, a specific methodology. Most of the methodologies in here aren't really going to be fit for the target that I'm going to be giving you. You will have to change some things. If you do choose a methodology, describe it a little bit. What does it mean? Oh, I went with the CWE top 25 for coverage. Okay, then what does that mean? You might be wondering. What is that exactly? Checklists, also important, of course. I put a few checklists in here, but I will put more in here. I see that there's more lacking, so good thing that we have that. Then a simulated pen test. So this is something you're gonna start from the very, very beginning. You have your target here, hexpert.com. You have, oh, let's ignore that. Oh, we can't ignore that. Out of scope, no API testing, rules of engagement, site and network testing, no destructive testing, upon foothold stop and report, anything critical report ASAP, no special access needed, such as VPN not required, registration is okay, posting as well, but DMs only to admins. Very important to keep this in mind while you're hacking. User ID equals 8, so that is your admin account or your own users. Don't send DMs to strangers, in other words. Whenever you're testing on a production environment, you have to be very aware that you're testing in a production environment and that you don't go reading, updating, deleting random data for random users. Really be careful with that. Even if it's not a production environment per se, you never know, the test environment might be used and the testers might have a full, like, something set up to for over the weekend run, a performance test and whatever, and you come in and you find an IDOR and you're able to change values but they're not yours, these accounts. QA comes back on Monday, they say that their accounts have been messed with, they wonder what's happening, they might even sound the alarm bells at that point because they didn't expect their accounts to be like this, they put them in differently. Yeah, you see what you can, if you don't watch this carefully, what you can cause. Even in bug bounties, if you do bug bounties, my dudes, be very careful that you don't test production shit and do a lot of posts on it. Like don't make it 10,000 forum posts on a production website that is in scope with bug bounties. They're not gonna take that in gratitude from you because they are the ones that have to remove all of those 20,000 posts that you made. That means if you run Burp Suite automated scan, automated vulnerability scan, and it's an active scan, if it finds that endpoint, it's fair game, especially if you put login credentials there. So it's going to keep repeating requests there and keep creating files, keep creating posts. So just be careful of that. Distributed testing recommended, meaning that there's just so much testing that it cannot be done alone. Time frame of briefing plus test plan creation. So you get 72 hours for a briefing. This is not true, by the way. Time frame of testing 1 week. In the real exam, you get 4 hours. You get 8 hours of testing, and you get time frame of report and debriefing. Also, in the latest one, we changed it to 12 hours. So there's another section there, which is your verbal exam. Now your verbal exam, you guys are going to love this because we're designing questions to grill you, and I mean drill you. Why do we do this? Not because we want to fuck you over, but because we want to stop you from wasting 8 hours if we don't think you are worthy of those 8 hours. Of course, we will note down all of the remarks that we have when posing our questions, and it will be accessible later for a record for archival purposes. But there is a degree of judgment there as well. A degree of judgment in a way that we ask our questions, and if we don't feel like you're describing a topic properly or not good enough, we'll say it. You'll get a chance to explain it again. But if we really don't understand what you're saying after 2 or 3 times, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. And especially when it comes to the very, very important questions, like what is ports? Give me 5 ports give me 5 default ports. What are some ports that are sometimes open? Give me what, okay, you named me 5 numbers now, 22, 23, 25, etc. What belongs to those ports? You don't know? Okay. What do you know? Tell me. I'm not gonna ask you to know all of this. Believe me, the whole point of this examination is to question you into a point where you're stuck, where you're no longer able to make any more moves, because I want to see how you respond at that point. And also I want to see how easy it is to get you stuck, because that either means you don't have enough confidence or you don't have enough knowledge. I always assume that it's not the knowledge part, but I'm just assuming that you don't have enough confidence. Let's keep it at that. What is STP? How can you make a mess from a network if STP is not enabled? What's the strong point of public-private key encryption? Explain hashing. Give me 4 request methods. What is a request method? Explain a full URL. All of these things can become in your 1-hour verbal exam. It always lasts an hour. Even if we feel like you're a good candidate, it will last an hour. Even if we feel like you're not a good candidate to take the exam, it will also last an hour. This is a verbal exam in which we do say, no, you're not fit to take the exam sometimes. And we will give very good reasons why. We will say this critical information is missing, this critical information is missing, etc. So you will never have to guess or worry. We try to keep it as open as possible in the sense that we are going to give you, and this is new as well, yeah, I know a lot of new shit, we're going to give you not just a report of what you've done or whatever. We want to keep things open, we want to keep things insightful, so we're going to give you a document that outlines everything that you should have been improving on or that you should be improving on, and we're going to give you a retake. Of course, all of the retakes are free in our exam, but you will have to submit this report. And in this report, we're going to define at least 3 heavy or major deficits in your knowledge with some examples. That's where that note taking is going to come in handy. Okay, you didn't explain cross-site scripting enough because of this and this and this. You didn't explain CSRF enough because this and this and this. And you didn't know what course was. Those might be 3 examples that we can give. Okay, then we start with the first one. You didn't explain XSS enough. That's your expectation will be to sufficiently know XSS to explain it to one of your peers. Then the deficit will be not enough knowledge about XSS in the areas of, and then what you forgot to say or what you said wrong, and then some examples with objectives. The objectives are very specific, are very achievable within the time frame that we allot, and they are an improvement plan. So in other words, you will get like a specific action point plan out of your exam that you failed, that you need to do to maybe pass the next exam that you're going to take. That's where I want to go with this. So you come from your exam, you have done your exam, okay, all is well and fine and dandy, but you failed. I want you to know why you failed. And I'm not going to say exactly this is why you failed, but we will put out performance plans as well, of course. That being said, it's going to take a little bit, so don't expect that to happen from tomorrow. Like if you take your exam today, that you will have your feedback tomorrow. No, we need to proctor this. With every proctor that was on the exam, we need to proctor this. All of this is fun and good and dandy until you come to the actual exam, and you're gonna get screwed with, my friend. Might seem cruel, might seem unreasonable, but what we're doing is we're reenacting scenarios that happened in real life tests. So there might be threat actors that come and exfoliate information from you. There might be scope changes in the middle of the project. Suddenly the client is like, no, this is super urgent, we really need this tested now, and the previous thing that you've tested is on the back burner. You need to be able to handle that as well. You need to be able to handle your client communication if you find something critical, to say, hey, sir, we found something critical, but mind your client communication. Don't throw things over Discord or whatever. Take them into a one-on-one meeting where you explain them what happened and explain the vulnerability. Or you can also share things encrypted, properly password protected, etc. That's also a possibility, but it's however you prefer, my friends. Now, I am maybe a little bit, I wouldn't say too tough in this exam, because some of the quality gates, for example, are you should find at least all critical vulnerabilities. You can leave low vulnerabilities not found, that's fine, but you have to later on also, in that case, say to your client, potentially, I haven't really covered everything yet, and you should say this as soon as possible. There's not enough time to finish every asset in the test plan. What would you like me to do? Would you like me to stop going so deep and focus on more shallow investigations? Or would you like me to exclude some assets from the scope specifically? Holy shit, it's already almost 3 AM. So yeah, you're gonna take your exam with me. You're possibly gonna fail. There are going to be other proctors on the exam as well. So if you fail, it's not my doing, it's everybody's doing. You don't fail and you don't pass until there's a complete consensus in the room. Everybody has to agree on the measures taken, and we can even go as far. For example, we had a threat actor in a Discord server, and we had one of our students share information that was critical over Discord, and the threat actor would have caught that, would have seen that, would have possibly even exploited that. He failed, unfortunately, but he failed at that moment. We immediately asked him, would you like to retry? Because I'm sure you're not going to make that same mistake again. And he did like to retry. He retried the exam, he passed it with flying colors. He found a lot of the good vulnerabilities out there, but he failed the first time. And that being said, he didn't even fail the first time. Nobody has to know that he failed the first time. I'm not going to tell anybody who it is, of course. But that being said, you don't have to worry about failing our exam. We're not gonna ask you for like another $400 exam voucher just to spin up the same environment that we spin up for other people as well. No, we don't do it that way. What we prefer is that you learn, that you grow, and we want to get you certified. We don't want to be exclusive and say, oh no, you failed, tough luck, try harder. We want to be the guys who say, you failed, but look, this is exactly why you failed, and this is the areas that you should improve upon, whether it be client communication, whether it be deliverables, whether it be the testing itself. We will be very open about that. And that's also why we don't mind people streaming our exams, by the way. There's a big pool of tests that you can get, and from that big pool you can draw basically any of those big pool items. Like you can draw a blog website, you can draw a specific API that's set up for nothing, you can draw a network, you can even draw scenarios where you have multiple computers in the same network. There's many different possibilities. You're not stuck to the same exam that somebody took before you, believe me. And no, we don't just work like. What I don't get is that some people get the same exam machines on OSCP. Okay, that so far so good, but so many people get the same exam setups almost. Like, I don't know if you guys talked about your exam. You probably shouldn't because that's not allowed, but I know from my cat, who has been non-stop talking about their exam. My cat was like, hey, did you also get this in the exam? Yeah, that was mine as well. Yeah, that was mine as well. You got the exact same network as somebody else. The exact same, which was really spooky. But okay, you'd say that's not a huge problem, but it came back over and over again. He kept meeting people, and some had a different network. Some had the same network as him, but nah. My cat finds it strange, I shall put it that way. In our exam we have an Excel sheet, and the Excel sheet is basically like a random picker that makes sure that you have at least certain quality gates in there that you need to surpass. Yeah, my cat is a real asshole. He tried to eat me last night, but luckily for him, or should I say luckily for him, unfortunately for him, I'm not that tasty. Let me see real quick, because I wanted to, I'm going to, before I go, I'm going to give you guys some more checklists in the exam folder, and that way I can upload them tomorrow and not forget about them, because that's important, of course. Let's see, so this is the CWE checklist. I'm not gonna give this to you guys simply because it's not finished yet. But this is the full CWE list, that's it. Then single point hacking techniques, it's not finished yet either. Oh shit. Web app hacking checklist, I think you have that. Web security testing guide, I think you have that as well. Oh, of course, on this page, on this PC. Not good. So what do we have here? Yep, that's there. Then the OWASP web security testing guide checklist. Yeah. Nope. I think this one is it, or the other one. Nope. Then this one. Nope. Guess what? We don't have that in here yet. So let's. Is it that one? No, that's not the one. This is just an article I've written directly before saying what the fuss. Yeah, no. I'm just going to export this as a PDF file. And then I think I'm going to go to bed afterwards. So we have this report here. Right. That's right. I keep forgetting that it's on my network drive. Courses. And then the CNWPP. And then the checklists. There we go. I need to rename these. So that's another checklist to have in there. WebSocket testing. Yeah, of course. WebSocket testing is going to be in there. WebSocket testing according to the OWASP web security testing guide is also going to be in there. And then we have network scanning, which I'm going to export as well. I'm just going to do, not very smart of me. download this PDF. There we go. Yeah. And my templates. Who knows checklists? What am I doing? My templates. You know what? You know what? It would be a lot easier if I just exported all of this. That's just something I was thinking about. But like this one is not, no, this one is not done. HTTP, yeah, these ones are done. I will finish the other ones before I do that, but these I can already export and put in the folder for you guys. By the way, are James or Brian still awake? I told them I would bring them on the screen, on the stream a while ago, but I honestly totally forgot. I guess smoking isn't as great for my memory as I would have hoped. Where would I put these checklists? In the course, I guess, right? Just in the course structure and then upload it to Udemy and Podia. If you're in Udemy, if you have my courses on Udemy, by the way, and you're watching this, this would be the Pen Testing 101 guide. SMB enum and SSH. Alright, let's go into my downloads folder and copy everything there and move it over to you. There we go. I've updated my checklist list, and now all I have to do is throw that into Podia as well, and then we are good to go. And I think it's also Udemy. That should be probably a good idea. But I'm not going to do that today. It's 2:30 a.m. and I keep saying I have to go, but I really do have to go now because I have to pee again. My bladder is literally the size of a pea, so yeah, I have to pee every 2 seconds. But I'm going to upload these. Oh, right, there's the web apps. There's that pen testing checklist. Oh, it's okay. Let's upload them real quick so we have them. I will be uploading this video on demand to the webinar page on Podia as well, by the way, but it will also be on my channel if you prefer that. Whichever you prefer. If I can also give you just a link to the full file so you can download it on your own computer. I don't mind at all. Let's see. This is the problem about CNWPP, right? If I change something about CNWPP, I have to change it about the Pen Testing 101 course as well. I guess those are just luxury problems. Lol. Sometimes you have to scroll to enable all of the things from a specific website. Like, for example, in Jira it has that a lot. It only loads what you have on screen right now. So if you scroll down, it's not gonna load those things. But I'm guessing I shall put my files in here as well for my checklist. And then I'm off to bed. Ooh. Why am I? Oh. Sometimes I work from my network drive and I can literally only see like a couple of folders. It's because the network drive is still loading. I need a better network drive. Also for reliability purposes. If this bitch ever breaks on me, I'm fucked. Yes. Oh, right. I can just open them here. No, that's okay. Pen testing checklist. Add files. We will try again. Courses. CNWPP. I just thought that sounded better, by the way. CNWPP. If we added an A in there as well, CNAWPP, it wouldn't have worked as well, I think. Why is... come on. Of course, right at the moment when I want to go to bed, it starts acting up. It should all be PDF files, so it should all be accepted. What? Can't open this folder. Can't open files in this folder because it contains system files. It does? Well, apparently it does. Checklist. What the freak is a system file here? Could it be that unconfirmed? What did I do now? Well, all my checklists are gone again. Oh, there we go. So, okay, last time the charm. Nope, it doesn't want to let me do that. Oh well, I guess I'm gonna copy them over to my downloads before removing them then. Let's put them in here, replace. Oh yeah, of course they come from there. Go west. Jesus. I think it's time I go to bed. Just an idea. Downloads. There we go. Alright my friends, thanks so much for staying up with me so late, and for some of you I know it's like 4 or 5 a.m. Yeah, my guess is that they're not awake. Yeah, don't get me started on the OSCP, bro. Don't get me started. I think it's 1,600 euros or something to get certified now. Freaking money grabbing. 1,499 for 90 days of lab access with one exam attempt. One, and self-guided. For this money, they can come and get me a back rub here. They can come and get me an exotic massage for that. Prices increased to, what? $1,599 in January. Ouch, that hurts. Prices are gonna be up to $1,600 in January 2023 and are now up to $1,500. In case you didn't have nightmares yet, I guess this is some good nightmare fuel for you. I will see you later, my friends. Bye bye, amazing hackers. Much love. See you later.